Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mid.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to the Ben Bosscher Show. With you, as always, Ben Bosscher, Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. We're basically going to see how many days in a row the Lions can be in the offseason, and we can just do a Lions-centric show. I think we've got weeks left in us if we really want to. We've got a lot of Lions stuff planned out for you today, including what we're going to start with. Let's waste no time and jump right in. Your star receiver. First team All-Pro 2 consecutive years. Second team All-Pro this year. One of the best receivers, one of the best players, really, in Detroit Lions history. Had this to say about Lions fans.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow. Wow.
And you're tweeting about a coach that was hired that you guys don't like because of XYZ. Bro, just relax.
Okay. He's obviously referring to Drew Petzing being hired. Lions fans having an immediate reaction. Most of the reaction was, who is this? Why is this not Mike McDaniel? He sees the Twitter comments. He has a reply. It is that Lions fans don't know much about anything, especially football. Oh, I have so many problems with stating this. First of all, Amon-Ra. When has it ever been a good idea, whether or not you're Super Bowl champs or you had 4 wins, to call out your own fan base and say you don't know anything about anything? When has that ever been a good idea? Second of all, for you to have the audacity to say that after 5 drops this season, plus the Lions didn't make the playoffs, man, you got a lot of confidence that the Lions fans aren't going to revolt in any way. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm not revolting, but I am taking an issue with what was said. The number one issue I have with this statement from Amon-Ra St. Brown is you got to trust Dan Campbell. What do you think what the Lions are doing? You think they're not taking their interview seriously? Do you not think we have a plan? These are all things that he said. You're fresh off of hiring John Morton as your offensive coordinator. In the same tenure as Dan Campbell, you have hired Anthony Lynn and taken away his play calling duties before the season ended. Now, that was a long time ago, but nonetheless, it's not once but twice that Dan Campbell and company have hired an offensive coordinator whose job was stripped from him before the first season was done. And Amon-Ra St. Brown has the audacity to say, you all, Lions fans, know nothing about anything, especially football, if you are going to be critical about this hire. He wants you to sit back, not just in the passenger seat, but in the back seat of the car and enjoy the ride no matter what's happening. Whether it's a smooth ride to the Super Bowl, whether it's bumps along the way, which obviously there has been, he wants you to sit down, shut up, put your AirPods in, play on your iPad, and enjoy the ride. Celebrate once in a while, but don't ever think we did anything wrong as the drivers. I think that's a crazy statement from this guy. And I love Amon-Ra. But man, if we're going to keep saying things like that, I'm going to tell you this, it might be time to be done with the podcast. Equanimous, big bro, you got to be the big bro here. Tell Amon-Ra, hey man, focus up on football. We can get this in the offseason, not during the year. Equanimous doesn't have much going on. He's got to be the one to lay it down and say, you know what, this is going to be better for my little brother if he goes on and just focuses on football. I took some offense with what Amon-Ra said to the Lions fans because as much as I like to, brag a little bit once in a while that, hey, we're part of the Lions media. At the end of the day, we're all Lions fans. That's why we're part of the Lions media. And for him to say, you guys don't know anything about anything, I took offense to that statement.
I mean, how could you not take offense to that statement, right? I mean, you don't know anything about anything. That's one of the most insulting things you could say to anybody. So, yeah, I mean, I think that your point about, Equanimous needs to step in and say, end the podcast. Why would he want to end the podcast? That's his only thing he's got going right now.
Exactly.
He probably wants to keep it going more than St. Brown. And look, if you listen to the whole clip, yes, it is a little bit like we just pulled 10 seconds of a full minute and a half clip. I thought he had made some good points about the Lions aren't just going to hire some random dude.
But they did hire a random dude.
What do you expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to go on a podcast and say? Man, our last hire was so bad. We got to hire this one is going to be, he can't trash the team. He's got to back his new offensive coordinator.
You can do that without insulting the Lions fans, though.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. He was making good points up until he said that thing, of course, about the fans. And that's just something that never needs to get brought up, like you said, no matter how bad it is. You don't even see the guys that are the A.J. Brown saying stuff like this, No,
because what good could it possibly result in? What is the upside in telling your fan base you're all stupid? There is none. I think it's so blasphemous that this guy would say this about the Lions fans who have been tortured for 30 plus years. They finally get a taste of winning. Then there's an enormous letdown. That's not controversial. It's just what happened. The team let us all down this season. And then he has the audacity to hop on the pod and say they don't know anything about anything. You could have went about this because he went on to say oh yeah, Petson called me. We had a nice conversation. We talked on the phone. He started that story by saying, I wanted to know what was going on, so I called Jared Goff. Jared Goff had already had a conversation with him. He let me know. Then Dan called me, and he let me know that they were going to hire Petson, and then Petson finally called me. All that stuff. Totally good insight as to what it's like to be a player as your team is hiring a new offensive coordinator. I enjoyed that part of it. But when it needs to stop but I didn't like the reaction I saw on Twitter. You're a player, man. I'm not saying you're not allowed to be on Twitter, but you're seriously going to let it hurt your feelings that Lions fans are talking about the team in a negative way when they have an actual reason to? Oh, we didn't like the hire. Yeah, because there was better guys available. Oh, you don't trust Dan Campbell. No, we trust him in a lot of things. There's not a ton of evidence that he can hire an awesome offensive coordinator. John Morton was around for 8 weeks before he got his play calling duties taken away? Anthony Lynn was around for 11 weeks before he just straight up got fired? Dan Campbell or Ben Johnson fell into your lap. I'm not trying to be angry guy for 3 hours doing radio. This is the only time, I want to do the St. Brown thing to open up the show, see if anyone else has something to say about it, and then move on. But I thought it was ridiculous what he said about every Lions fan out there. I took offense to it. I'm sure a lot of other fans took offense to it. That's not I guess this is where we are now, though. Right? We've passed the honeymoon phase with this team. They could do no wrong for a long time. This year they did a little bit of wrong. And now, for the first time, you're seeing some cracks in the fans and ownership. No, not ownership, but GM, upper management, coaching, players. You're seeing some distance between them. It's a luxury to be in that position because it means you've been good for a while. However, it's time to acknowledge that we're here. I think it's time for him to be done with the podcast. That might be my biggest conclusion from this. And that I think that's dumb to say, coming from someone who speaks for a living, kind of does this sort of thing in the same field.
This is basically a podcast, yeah.
Essentially, yeah. But I don't know, man. When you're going to be attacking all fans, I don't like that.
I've never been like the guy that is, podcasts need to just end. Like, these player podcasts stink, that's because I think some of them are good. The St. Brown podcast is, it depends on who they have on. It's not like the best listen in the world. And obviously, when you, in the offseason like this, what is there to talk about, So you have to talk about things like this. And unfortunately, it can lead to Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of spewing his feelings about how he feels about what the Lions fans think, So, I don't know. I think that the reaction to the Drew Petzing thing, I understand him feeling that way, I get that. But actually airing it out on a public audience like that obviously doesn't need to happen.
No, I think Lions fans are totally allowed to have felt the way that they felt when Drew Petzing was hired.
Yeah, but
now it's on the fans to kind of understand, okay, he is the offensive coordinator. What do I like? What do I dislike about this? But I thought it was completely reasonable that the Lions fans, including myself, had the reaction to the Drew Petzing hire that we did.
Yeah, but I also think it's valid for St. Brown to have his reaction to the Lions fans' reaction, right? I think he's allowed to be like, guys, chill out. Why are we just all of a sudden counting this guy out? We haven't even seen a game get called yet. I think he's allowed to feel that way.
Sure. No, he is.
Just doesn't need to air it out.
Or tell Lions fans they don't know anything about anything. I think I know things about some things.
Yeah,
I think I know a few things about a couple things.
You got to know a couple things.
About at least a few things. 989-837-6125. Hey, we're going to talk to our good friend Al Karsten from prideofdetroit.com in the 11 o'clock hour. He's going to tell us a little bit more about Drew Petzing because he's deep in the coaching trees. He understands what the forest looks like. He knew exactly who Petzing was. So we're going to come on the show with him at 11:15. He's going to give us his insight on that. We got some news with an NFC North foe we'll get to in a little bit. Pistons, they won again last night, even without Cade Cunningham. We got a fun show packed for everybody here. It's Thursday, 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Iron Stack Technologies. We talk about the game plan all the time with this show, whether it's Drew Petzing's or Ben Johnson's. You got to have a good game plan. Talking to you, Dan Campbell. Here's the thing. Iron Stack Technology, they always have a good game plan. They help businesses stay secure, stay efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission ahead instead of your technology. Solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out at ironstacktechnology.com. That is ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Every successful team starts with a solid game plan, and your business technology should be no different. Iron Stack Technology helps organizations design, protect, and manage IT systems that perform when it matters most. With a focus on security, reliability, and execution, Iron Stack keeps your businesses ready for the next play. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Learn more at ironstacktechnology.com.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities, That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at Corning.com.
At Scott Family Dental, we treat every patient like family because it's in our name. Our office culture is built on trust, comfort, and care, just like you'd want for your own loved ones. We don't sign contracts with insurance companies, so we can offer the highest quality dental care without compromise. That means your treatment is based on what's best for you, not an insurance plan. Scott Family Dental, compassionate care, lasting smiles.
Visit scottfamdental.com to schedule today.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit cervinskysodservice.com.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering over 20 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's fueled area homes, farms, businesses, and hunters and anglers since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
With Forward Energy.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday. Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I have all these Lions thoughts coming to me at once. Like, it's almost like I'm coping. You know, the Lions season's been over for a while. I still haven't necessarily accepted it, so I just have all these thoughts going through my head. And one of them was somewhat of a brain exercise yesterday between yourself, Dan Campbell, and Brad Holmes that I wanted to share with everybody. Kyle, how long would the Detroit Lions fans put up with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell without a Super Bowl with these stipulations? Every year you go above 500. This is the Mike Tomlin route. Every year you go above 500. 9, 10, 11, 12 wins, who knows? You have a 25% chance to win the division every year. 1 of 4 chance, 4 competent teams in the NFC North. Some years it could be every 4 years. Maybe it's you get 2 in a row, go a long time without winning one, who knows? And then you have a 14% chance to win the NFC because that is a 1 out of 7 chance or 7 teams that make the playoffs. Playoff wins are scattered. You win some, you lose some. How long would you put up with it before the Lions get a Super Bowl? I think there's 2 answers for me.
Can I hear your 2 options first before I give an answer?
Sure. I think answer number 1 is 10 years, assuming they haven't been to a Super Bowl in the last 3. If they've gotten to a Super Bowl in the last 3, I think that just always is going to reset the clock. So I would say 10 years, or after Jared Goff is moved on from, the Goff era is done. If that is a complete disaster, that might be time to move on as well. But I am somewhat under the belief that we are going to have a Mike Tomlin-esque sort of tenure with Dan Campbell, where he's here for 15 years, 10 plus years. It sounds absolutely insane to say out loud, but I really wouldn't be surprised if they were just good, well-run organization, overachieved, tough team every single season, high floor, and you're basically just hoping to cross your fingers and get lucky one of these years that the stars align and you win the Super Bowl. And if you get one, you're happy. I can rest easy in my grave if they get one Super Bowl. They can go above 500 for a long time before I'm mad about it.
They could go 2 wins every year if they win a Super Bowl, for all I care. I mean, it's just about winning a Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
That's
if they have 2 wins under Dan Campbell for a long time, I think there'll be questions. But
yes, of course.
Yes, under this stipulation, you have 100% chance to go above 500 every year.
Which I think that they're going to do. I mean, obviously this past season seemed like it was worst case scenario, and yet they went 9-8. You know, like how could have it been worse? And so it's tough because the mindset of Lions fans in the last 3 years has completely shifted. You know, if you asked this question 3 years ago, I think just like, I don't know, winning a playoff game probably would have been like awesome for Lions fans. They would have taken that. And now just based off of 2 years of success, 1 year of winning 2 playoff games, the other one of getting the number 1 seed in the NFC, all of a sudden, most Lions fans have the mindset of Super Bowl or bust, which is just kind of funny to think about because they still haven't made the Super Bowl ever, you know? So that's what's kind of funny to think about. And I'm not saying that that's an expectation that shouldn't be had. I agree. Like this current Lions team, we saw it 2 seasons ago, had the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. We saw it a year ago when they won 15 games. Like that team should have had every opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. So I respect that mindset, but it's just tough to think about in the future wise. Like, yeah, you would take Mike Tomlin's career, but we don't view Mike Tomlin as like this. Everybody wanted him out, you know? But you would absolutely take that because he got a Super Bowl. He went to another one and lost.
Yeah. I think the above 500 thing, if they were to keep doing that with playoff wins sprinkled in, with some division wins sprinkled in as well, I don't know when the majority of Lions fans would grow sick of it, but I don't feel as if they'd act upon anything because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I feel like as long as you have Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, you're going to have a pretty solid option. As much as, you know, we dismantled Dan Campbell for the clock management stuff, as much as we go at Holmes a little bit for some of his decision-making, some of the drafts that he's had, you know, maybe some people are saying now that he's given out too many contract extensions. Decker, Barnes, Joseph, McNeil all come to mind. There's still pretty good GMs and coaches at the end of the day. So I don't think it's necessarily worth it to ever move on from those type of guys. I just thought that was an interesting brain exercise because I was thinking about Mike Tomlin. And if Dan Campbell and Mike Tomlin's career, that would be an enormous success. An organizational success, nonetheless.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's and Mike Tomlin, just as far as the Steelers fans go, because it feels like most NFL fans were out on the idea of Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers fans still love the guy. And maybe that's just from an organizational thing of them because they've only had 3 coaches in the last 1,000 years and everything. So
yeah, I'm not all that sure the Steelers would have fired him if he wouldn't have stepped down.
It doesn't really sound like it.
No.
Which I thought immediately when you saw that headline, like, oh, he was going to get fired, but he wanted to avoid it, so he kind of took the, oh, I'm going to step down route. But no, it sounds like they would have totally welcomed him back. And so, yeah, I think that if you are to say, like, no, that's not good enough if Dan Campbell becomes Mike Tomlin, I think that's just kind of silly because any single comparison, any single route that involves the Lions winning a Super Bowl under Dan Campbell is the route you take. And it doesn't really matter what happens in all the other years to me.
The thing with Tomlin, too, is it feels like he's going to take next season off and then be the most sought-after guy. He's really not that old. If the Lions were to ever move off of Dan Campbell and there was like years and years of, oh, you don't go less than 500, you're going to be a fringe playoff team every single season, he's a great motivator. Someone else would be willing to pick him up immediately, and to see him be coaching anywhere else I think would be excruciating.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, and I don't think we'd like... Some Lions fans obviously were frustrated with Dan Campbell this season, but...
Rightfully so. You're allowed to be frustrated with your coach. It's going to happen.
Of course. But I don't think there's any sort of... I wouldn't assume that there's any people out there that are, like, already thinking about moving off of him, you know? So that would be just obviously way too soon for that.
Oh, there's some people. There's a weird portion of the Lions fans that are very unhappy with everything that's going on from an organizational standpoint. I don't really get it. I really don't. I still have... mostly trust in them.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I'm just not sure I have trust on is hiring the offensive coordinator, ironically. And it's not to say like I hate the Drew Petzing fit. Again, I like the fit. I think I've made that clear this week, but I don't know. They're 1 for 3 so far. Are they going to be 1 for 4? Or are they going to be 2 for 2 or 2 for 4? I don't know. We'll see what happens this offseason with the offensive line. Is that your number one concern, big macro-wise? That's not my number one concern from like a...
What, the offensive line?
No. Their ability to hire an offensive coordinator.
Oh.
Like from a macro perspective, organizational, that's probably my big concern right now. Can you find the right coordinators to come help you?
Ben Johnson wasn't even like a real hire.
He fell into your lap.
Which, like, I mean, they have to get credit for that. Like, it has to be some sort of credit for, like, it was his first offensive coordinator job. Like, they were willing to take the risk and give it to him. But like you said, it wasn't like they had to go out of the organization and go find somebody.
It wasn't an external search.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, that's got to be a bigger concern. But I think their ideal world is that Petzing is the offensive coordinator for a while and that maybe this is the last time they have to do it for some time. Like, if you hit with this one, yeah, you still only hit at a 50% rate or whatever it would be. But hopefully that means you don't have to do it again for a while. You know, so that's probably their ideology with the Petzing hire, which, once again, I'm not going to do the St. Brown thing and say, you guys that are questioning it, screw you. But also, I'm willing to wait this thing out because, I don't know, how could it be worse than John Morton?
Can we play the St. Brown thing one more time?
Yeah.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow. Wow.
Can we cut up just that first 4 seconds?
That you guys don't like because of XYZ.
Can we cut up where he just says,
yeah,
you guys don't know much about anything?
We'll save
just
that.
have that on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
989-837-6125. As always, this show is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, the siding looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come. They actually know something. They must not be Lions fans.
Most of you guys don't know anything.
Yeah, the Lions fans, they don't know anything about anything. Bresky Siding and Building Repair, well, they at least know something about siding and building repair. So go ahead and give them a call.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad, 989-529-8167.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a two-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape, and then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Dreaming of warmer days? Now's the perfect time to start at Maple Hill Nursery. For a limited time, take 30% off all current in-stock outdoor furniture floor models. Our annual January sale to make room for what's next. And what's next is exciting. We're adding Three Birds Casual and Lloyd Flanders to our already fine selection of outdoor furniture, arriving soon. Now's also the best time to place your outdoor furniture order, so it's ready when spring weather hits. Order early, enjoy sooner, and Maple Hill can even store it for you. Maple Hill Nursery. Get ready for outdoor season today.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
If you served, we want you to get the health care and benefits you earned. We want you to come to VA.
There's never been a better time to apply. Under a new law called the PACT Act, we've expanded VA care and benefits to millions of people who served and their survivors.
No matter where you served or how long you served, check out va.gov/PACT to learn more about what VA can do for you and your family. Come to VA.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to read some Mitt messages, get to the news, and then in the 10 o'clock hour, I'm going to give you my Detroit Lions offseason manifesto. Cannot wait. Let's get to some Mitt messages. 989-837-6125. Mark says, ask St. Brown to start focusing on catching the football and limiting drops rather than bashing the people who pay for your insane salary. Ooh.
Wait, who texted this? Mark?
Mark did.
This is probably what St. Brown would say to you, Mark.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, you don't. Thanks for your insight, Mark. But what's the point of talking for me to do my job? What's the point for you to text in? We don't really know anything about anything. 5 drops this year. Doesn't it feel like more? Maybe PFF's pretty strict about what quantifies as a drop, but I don't know. It feels like there was more than just 5 drops this season.
I would think so.
Or maybe the 5 just feels
is
extreme.
A lot, though, yeah.
Because the last few seasons he's had like 2 total. I don't know. Yeah, he is making a lot of money. Chris from Bay City says, I don't think he was trying to say that we don't know anything. I don't know. I think that's kind of exactly what he said. What did he say again?
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Yeah, I think that's kind of exactly what he said.
You don't really much about anything. So.
That's true. Chris, I'm going to keep reading your text. I think he was just trying to say we don't know anything about ball, but unfortunately some people are a little too sensitive with words. Ooh. Is that shots fired at us? No, I don't know.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Yeah, you don't really know much about anything, Chris. Thanks for texting in. I think we had one more. Oh, yeah, sure. Martin texting in saying, this one's regarding the Dan Campbell-Tomlin comparison. If you're telling me that Dan Campbell makes the Mike Tomlin route, goes to 2 Super Bowls, win 1, and has sustained success, never going under 500, that man is getting a bronze statue in front of Ford Field and will be immortalized forever. That's a great way to sum it up. Great way to sum it up.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it, you know? Like, that's an awesome career, especially for this franchise.
How many guys on the team right now would get statues outside of Ford Field if they won a Super Bowl?
Well, there's no point in hypothesis. We don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the point of even thinking about this? No, I mean, I don't know.
I think Dan would get one. I think.
Wait. Right now they would get one, or like
if they won a Super Bowl and played, let's say most 80% of their career with the Lions.
Can you make 53 statues? Is there enough room for everyone on the team?
The Sione Vaki statue is gonna be so crazy.
Giovanni Manu statue is gonna hit like crack.
I think it's Dan. I think it's Sewell.
I mean, probably Goff, right? He's the quarterback of the Super. Like whoever wins MVP gets one.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. No, that's
I'm
a
not
lot
sure
of
if Goff
statues.
does get
We
one.
can't just be throwing around statues like that. Actually,
I think Sewell's the only guy right now that I'm like 1,000% confident would be a statue guy.
I think the MVP would get one.
The Super Bowl. What if it's like Derek Barnes? Just some random like defensive
How often
performance.
does that happen outside of Von Miller, who was an awesome defensive player?
Good point. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll get to the news. Why so mad, Ben? Athletes and celebrities don't live in the real world. Just hope he doesn't drop as many passes next year and treat it as background noise. I feel like that's what St. Brown should be doing, though, because he's the one that I'm not mad. I guess I'm a little mad.
Relax.
St. Brown's the one that seems a little bit more upset about the Lions fans' reaction to this. You know, I'm gonna move on from my day. I'm sure he is too, but maybe he should be the one that's treating this like background noise. Because again,
most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Thank you. 989-837-6125. Let's hit the news.
The Mets Morning Catch.
All right, well, if you don't know much about anything, we're going to inform you because we're taking the news to you here.
Yes.
Before we hit the news, let's take a look at the community calendar. As always, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. It's really cold outside, so if you want to warm up outside because you still like the winter going on, well, a quiet winter's night, a campfire under the stars at Chippewa Nature Centers tonight from 6 to 8. You can have s'mores, hot chocolate, campfire going on. That's at the Homestead Cabin at the Chippewa Nature Center. Isn't it supposed to be like negative this weekend?
Yeah, yes.
Isn't that the word on the street?
Good. I'm good on the outdoors this weekend.
Yeah, that's tough. It's not that bad out today, though, so you can still go check that out. And if you want to learn more about the community calendar, check out maxlovesmidland.com/community-calendar. Last night, the Pistons beat the Pelicans without Cade Cunningham, 112-104. Duran, 20-15, big game from him. And the Pistons will head back home to take on Houston on Friday in a big-time game.
Felt like everyone kind of had a nice game. Asar's impact was felt. Ron Holland came into the game and was doing Ron Holland stuff. Danis played a good amount of minutes as well. It felt like everybody was contributing in a big way last night, picking up for no Cade Cunningham on the floor. How much of a luxury is it? And I know people feel a certain way about star players sitting games. I totally understand that. I'm with you guys. But if Cade Cunningham's dealing with an illness, they don't feel the need to play him.
His wrist also is definitely clearly still bugging him.
Yeah, so the wrist, the illness, they're playing a bad team, and they have enough confidence to go on the road, rest their best player, and still win. That's also how much of a lead they have in the Eastern Conference that they feel comfortable doing that. We're here, guys.
On the road, though, man, it's still never easy.
We've arrived. Like, we are in the territory of we're going to win the 1 seed. Anything's possible from there.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, they take on Houston Friday on Prime, by the way, at 7. That's going to be a huge game. I know that people like to do the whole Rockets-Pistons have a rivalry thing. They don't.
Not anymore.
But it's
did
still
for a few years.
two really good teams in the NBA. So that's what's going to make it fun. And you still have the Thompson twins, so that's fun.
See, the Rockets-Pistons rivalry was fun because it was the Jalen Green thing. Cade's going to be on a first-team All-NBA this year.
Jalen Green's on a different team and hasn't even played for the Suns yet.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Thompson twins, I think, it's truly a fun wrinkle.
Oh, yeah, totally is.
Because it feels like the other teams try to get in the opposite Thompson's head. Both of them.
Yeah, Amen definitely is much more of a...
He's got a quicker fuse.
He'll be quick to fight someone pretty fast. Asar, though, he's been gearing up a little bit lately. With Dylan Brooks and him went at it.
And I like it, because Asar has always been like the reserved walk away from any sort of altercation.
Right.
I like that he's showing a little bit of fight lately.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're wearing off on him finally.
Right. The Red Wings, they won again last night in overtime, 2-1 over the Leafs. Dylan Larkin had the game winner for the Wings. Man, they just continue to stay hot, and they're right back at it tonight, late night at 9:30 against the Wild, and that's on ESPN. So back-to-back primetime slots for the Wings.
That's what happens when you get to first place. I don't know, maybe these games were already scheduled out. Yeah, Larkin, man, he's the captain of the team for a reason. I know, just in terms of the total points and stuff, DeBrincat's having an incredible season, finally. You've got Lucas Raymond, who's also come along as one of the best players in the NHL. The captain's still a captain, guys. He's still the captain.
Yeah, big-time win. I mean, it seems like they can't lose right now, so hopefully, I mean, it's tough to do it on a back-to-back, but like I said, they got the Wild tonight at 9:30. Okay, a little bit of weird news here. Had to throw this one in. We've been watching the transfer portal all offseason for both Michigan and Michigan State, but a little bit of a closer look on Michigan because they're expected to be the better team. And their incoming running back transfer, Taylor Tatum from Oklahoma, who was the number 1 running back in the class of 2024 coming out, he's going to start out in the safeties room, Ben.
So,
what?
I think my first thought on this is 5-star true freshman coming in, Savion hitter.
We're going to learn it at some point, you know?
He's going to have a role. And now I'm starting to wonder if, it's going to be Jordan Marshall and Savion Hitter. Is Michigan kind of trying to do things the old-fashioned way, where we look at this Indiana team, they're attacking the portal, they're getting as many 24, 25-year-olds as possible with as much games under their belt as possible. Is Michigan just doing this the old-fashioned way? And instead of guaranteeing these mass amounts of money, I know they did with Bryce, but bringing in these 5 stars, essentially promising them not just money, but playing time, and then basically saying, well, 4 years from now, 3 years from now, these guys are going to be nuts. And then we can just continue to, basically do what the Lions are doing, get our own guys, build them up, develop them, and hopefully by the time they're juniors and seniors, these 5 stars are NFL talent, prospects type of guys. It hasn't been done yet in this era. We'll see what happens. I think that's kind of the route that Michigan's going, though.
Yeah.
They did it with Bryce Underwood. Very rarely do you give a true freshman keys to the offense. I think they're going to have Savion Hider have a role, too, next year if Tatum's not going to be in the running back room. I don't know, man.
How come Justice Haynes didn't stick around then?
I don't know.
That's part. I mean, I assume he got the bag from Georgia Tech. Is kind of what it sounds like, but
it's the J-Bat school.
If the incoming RB transfer wasn't going to play running back, then I
don't know, man.
Maybe they're trying to turn him into Jabril Peppers, just in the reverse.
Kind
of play safety. We'll still get some snaps at running back.
Why would that be reverse, though?
Well, because Peppers was a defensive player that just got some snaps on offense.
Oh,
this guy is a running back that they're trying to turn into a safety.
I was going to say, it sounds like he's just a safety now, though.
He might just be, yeah. That's a good point. I don't really know.
To have another Peppers would be so awesome, though, because I know that was peak Michigan State rivalry, so you probably hate the guy.
I mean, not really. They were kind of I guess, yeah.
That era.
Right, yeah.
That guy was truly one of the most electric college players I ever watched. He was so fun.
Yeah, Jabril. I mean, how could you dislike Jabril? It didn't matter what team you were a fan of. That guy was awesome. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, let's close the news with this. I'm going to do something selfish here. We'll save the rest for later. But got news in the Mid-American Conference yesterday. CMU and Eastern Michigan over the next 2 years, their football game will be played at Ford Field. And it's going to be a midweek Maction game. So one of those ones that's in the middle of the week. Because everyone's immediate reaction, it was mine as well. Oh, man, we're taking away a home game and a rivalry game from one of these teams. But it's going to be the midweek Maction one, where it's 5 degrees out in the middle of November. And it's hard to get people to come out to the games, of course. Well, the next 2 years, that game is going to be played at Ford Field. So, yeah.
How are you getting students to these games?
How are you getting students to the games anyways? I think that
Fair.
The whole grasp is that there's a ton of alumni for both schools in the Detroit area, and it will draw a crowd for that audience.
I think you're right about that.
That's
Eastern obviously is so much closer to Detroit, though.
Of course.
Getting people from Mount Pleasant down in the middle of a week is tough. No, I'm not going to overhate this one. I'll see how this one plays out.
Because I had an immediate reaction of really? But then the more I thought about it, it's it's hard to get people to come to those games 5 minutes away, just because of how cold. It's so cold, man.
I used to try as a student. I could only get to halftime on some of these midweek action games. By the time you get into December in mid-Michigan, it's like, man, I want to stay here, but I can't feel my feet.
And they're so long, the game. Yeah, it's truly terrible. So they're going to be inside now.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, we'll save the rest for later.
989-837-6125. Here's the plan the rest of the hour. I want to have a conversation about Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons when we come back. Then to open up the 10 o'clock hour, here's what we're going to do. Detroit Lions offseason manifesto. I'm in the early stages of building it. It's not complete, but I want to share it with you. That's all coming up. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hope everyone's having a good start to their Thursday. Roads seem clear, but make sure to stay warm out there, everybody. It is chilly. Hey, Mr. Appliance is your go-to fast, reliable home appliance repair done right here in Michigan. From refrigerators to ovens, washers, dryers, and more, they'll get you back up and running with confidence. Upfront pricing, friendly techs, and dependable service that you can trust. Need help at your home or at your business? Mr. Appliance is just a call or a click away. Keep your home running smoothly with Mr. Appliance. Schedule your service today at MrAppliance.pro.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
That ball is gone. And if you want to hit one out of the park for Midland, listen up. The Midland Area Community Foundation just launched something special, the Wavemakers Society.
The Wavemakers Society is how the Midland Area Community Foundation brings people together to invest in our community's future. It's about creating ripples of generosity that grow into waves of lasting change. When we all give a little with intention, we build permanent community capital that supports Midland's greatest needs now and for generations to come.
That's a game changer. Step up to the plate and join the team shaping Midland's future.
Learn more at midlandfoundation.org.
Make waves. Create ripples. Shape Midland's future today. Blazy Electric is saying thank you to their customers with 10% off all service calls now through at least the end of January. Whether it's a small fix or a bigger electrical need, their trusted service team is ready to help. Just make sure your service call is completed within 30 days of your estimate to take advantage of the savings. For 60 years, Blazy Electric has proudly powered our community with reliable, honest service, and they couldn't have done it without you. Call Blazy Electric today and let them take care of the rest.
He got it! That's 3 of them! The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
A big noon tip-off for the Spartans on Saturday. MSU hosts Maryland at the Breslin. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford. From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while, one where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the show. So I'm watching the Pistons last night, and a graphic popped up on the screen that caught my attention. On FanDuel Sports Network, they put up a graphic of all the Pistons all-star starters in franchise history. Did you catch this, Kyle? Do you see this graphic?
I don't think I did.
Cade Cunningham is just the fifth player to ever do it. I was a little surprised by that. I thought, I don't know, I guess if I sat down and thought about it, maybe I would have thought there was 5 or 6 players, but there had only been 4 to ever start an all-star game. It's Allen Iverson, who's done it once, Ben Wallace, who's done it twice, Grant Hill, who's done it 5 times, Isaiah Thomas, who's done it 11 times, and Cade, an all-star starter for the first time this year. And look, anytime we can do a topic about all-time players, I'm down to do it. It feels like this was a perfect excuse. So my question is Cade Cunningham a top 5 player in franchise history if he's the 5th guy to ever start in an all-star game? I think you have to start here. He has to be ahead of Allen Iverson because Iverson only played 1 season in Detroit. Cade's already accomplished more. But I do think you have to bring in Chauncey and Dumars because of their finals MVPs. Like, if you have a finals MVP, multiple all-star appearances, 6 times for Dumars, 5 times for Chauncey, even though neither ever started, those guys obviously just have to be ahead of Cade.
Of course.
And so does Ben Wallace with 4 Defensive Player of the Years. So between IT, Dumars, Chauncey, and Ben Wallace, that's 4 locks. Then I think you get into the next group of Grant Hill, not a ton of postseason success. Not that Cade has had any, but a lot of regular season success. Was first-team All-Pro once. And then you get into the champions like Rodman and Lambeer and Vinnie Johnson. And then you got the old guys, Bob Lanier and Dave Bing.
The mayor.
The mayor, yes, thank you. I think Cade has a chance to basically pass everybody on that list this season. Depending on how this thing plays out. I mean, think about it. There's a real chance that I'm not going to lock this in. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm probably picking the Pistons to come out of the Eastern Conference by the time the playoffs roll around. Assuming no devastating injuries have happened to this team, they're the best team in the East. So let's say Cade, first-team All-NBA, all-star starter, wins multiple playoff series. If he can get them to the finals, I think he basically passes everyone and locks himself into that 5th spot in franchise history. For right now, I think you kind of have to have Grant Hill ahead of him, probably Rodman as well. And then, I don't know, the Lambeer, Vinnie Johnson, Bob Lanier, Dave Bing.
Yeah, the guys that have won championships, it's just hard to, it does just feel premature right now to call him that. But like you said, at the end of the year, and I also don't think anyone doubts that, Cade will be on this list, no doubt about it.
Oh, my God.
You know,
to be honest,
might jump up to be a top 3 player ever, it's...
I was going to say, I think he's just kind of chasing IT.
Which Zeke. Yeah, it's going to be tough. But, yeah, I mean, anyways, like, I just think that by the end of this season, yeah, there's a chance. But I think it is a little bit premature to do that right now. From a skill talent standpoint, yeah, I mean, he's probably one of the more skilled players ever on the Pistons. But obviously it's about career and legacy and what you've done for the franchise. And so far, he's kind of just creeping into, like, doing stuff, you know, building a legacy, building a resume, you could call it.
Mm-hmm. He might have done the most impressive thing of all these guys of bringing the Pistons back to relevancy after Tom Gores bought the team and they sunk down to the worst team in the league for 10 straight
not
years.
Asking out for a trade, yeah.
Right. Actually signed the rookie extension. Yeah, the other thing that I think just gets kind of thrown aside is Dave Bing is a 2-time first-team All-Pro guy, even though that was a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and Bob Lanier was like one of the better players in the league when he played for the Pistons.
Never was on
Rest in peace.
Never was on a first-team All-Pro, though. And Cade is probably going to get one of those at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, I would think so.
If they're the 1 seed, lock that in. He's going to be on a list with Luka or Shea, maybe both, Jokic if he qualifies. Like, as much as you guys don't like that he sat yesterday, I don't either. He's going to play by far enough games to qualify for some of this stuff when you can't say the same thing about a Jokic right now. We don't know. Who knows what's going to go on with Giannis?
Yeah.
He plays enough to qualify for all these awards. I mean, we've never had an MVP in franchise history. I don't think we're going to get one this season. I think he probably does finish top 3, though. Between him, Shea, and Luka, like,
yeah, it seems like
I don't know, man.
It seems like those are the 3 right now. If Jokic is not going to get to the games played number, which I don't think he's going to. He's going to miss probably a month, which is plenty of games. So, I mean, Jokic is still like, I don't think Cade's a top 3 player in the league this year. But from a
top 5 though.
But from a perspective of the points or the games played and everything, yeah, then he is going to finish as probably a top 3, maybe. I mean, that's still like just a crazy thing to throw out there. So
if he does it once though, like is a top 5 guy, that already puts him in a list with very few Pistons ever.
Right, but I think I agree. Yes, it totally does. But like the winning thing really does matter in this specific franchise.
Sure.
Like they've had 2 different eras of really, really good teams that have won championships. Like that's the biggest pinnacle.
And other than that, it's been pretty grim. Like it's not like those 2 eras and then outside of that,
they're long eras though. It's not like they were just like, oh, we won a championship for 2 years and then they sucked the rest of the time. Like both of those eras were good teams for long stretches of time.
But there wasn't really any success at all between the eras or since the eras until this year. Like, not even, like, frisky, fun success.
No, yeah.
None.
I mean, like, post-2009, I mean, it has just been
bad.
You had the one Blake Griffin year. You had the one Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond year, and of being 500, you know?
Well, even in the 90s, before they really put it all together. Like, I know they had...
The early 2000s. I mean, like, before they were good. Like, when you had the Stackhouse era, when he was averaging 30 on a just terrible Pistons teams, like, that was no fun.
No, I think Cade really does have a chance to kind of solidify himself as one of these top 5 guys of all time, depending on what happens by the end of the season. And it's more to kind of give a compliment to this Pistons team of what they can accomplish this season.
Right.
Anything is on the table for them. I really do believe that. This is no longer a fun story. They're the favorites in the Eastern Conference. It's similar to the Lions. Like 23, they were super fun. 24, you get to the end of the season, it's like, oh my God, we're the 1 seed. Like, it'd be a disappointment if we didn't get there. That's kind of the path the Pistons are on. So we'll see what ends up playing out here. 989-837-6125. All right, I promised you this. It's the playoff manifesto, not the playoff manifesto, the offseason manifesto for the Detroit Lions when we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Card to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering over 20 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's fueled area homes, farms, businesses, and hunters and anglers since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
With Forward Energy.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
Conference Championship Sunday is on the Mitt. The AFC features the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. The NFC's got the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. Our coverage starts at 2 on Sunday, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, let's do this. The off-season manifesto for the Detroit Lions. This is a work in progress. It is not complete, but the early stages of it are done. The outline's done, so I figured why not give it a share. Kyle, jump in at any point, all right? Number one step in the off-season guide is to fix the offensive line. First up is free agency. I've got my eyeballs on Connor McGovern. Free agent center right now for the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to sit here, pound my fist, and say it has to be him. But I'd like someone of his caliber. You've got Linderbaum available. You've got McGovern available. Those are probably your two best guys. I'm saying go get the second guy. Linderbaum's the best guy on the market. I'm not asking you to go give crazy money. Go just get a solid option that you know for a fact is a good center in the NFL. Can they afford that? Not right now. Hold just a moment. We'll free up some cap space momentarily. Step number 2, I guess subsection A of step number 1. Sign Connor McGovern. Subsection B, draft Francis Moigoa, Spencer Fanu, or Caleb Lomu in the first round. That's the 2 Utah tackles or the Miami guy. These are considered the 3 best tackles in this year's draft. Just walk away with in the first round with one of them. Or is one of them going to be available at 17? I'm not sure. But you got to walk away with one of those 3 guys.
And what if all 3 of them are not available at 17? What is
you better pick up the phone when the first 2 are off the board.
What's the backup plan in the manifesto for that situation?
There is no backup plan. You pick up the phone after the first 2 guys go and make sure that you get them.
So this really is like Connor Stalions type manifesto here. Just like everything has to happen.
Subsection C. Draft an interior offensive lineman in round 2. Step number 1 is fix the offensive line. I'm putting as many resources as I can into this. Sign your center. Draft your tackle, draft a guard, have this guard and Christian Mahogany compete for that second spot. And listen, I like Christian Mahogany too. He was a 6th-round pick at the end of the day. You can go and find an upgrade in round 2. And just like that, overhaul. 3 new players to this offensive line. It's not time to move sideways. It's not time to move backwards. Got to take a step forward and move on from that offensive line that you had last season. Subsection D of step number 1. Taylor Decker retires or Taylor Decker is cut to save $18 million. I'm not exactly sure how the retirement works against the salary cap. I'm trying to figure it out as we speak. Like I said, manifesto is a work in progress. That's step number 1. Step number 2, free up some salary cap space. Subsection A, restructure Jared Goff's contract. $69 million salary cap hit this year, no chance. No, not happening. Spread that money out. Give us a little bit of money back to spend this season. They'll figure it out. I'm not going to put exact number on it because I'm not a cap wizard. I just understand the big picture aspects of it. Restructure the St. Brown contract as well. That's subsection B. This is a repeat step, but it's important. Taylor Decker retires or cut Taylor Decker to save $18 million. I think I've settled on this. It's unacceptable to bring Taylor Decker back next season. I think you have to move on, is where I've landed on the Taylor Decker situation.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's strong.
If he's back, you run into the problem of you drafted your first-round tackle and he's not playing, which is also unacceptable. If you can free up the $18 million, I think it just helps you in the long run. Go sign a center who's maybe a little bit better than Taylor Decker is, and then you can draft your tackle. Because you're not drafting a tackle in the second round. You're not finding one in free agency. Ideally, you're never picking as high as 17 or higher if they trade up again. So go get your tackle. So cut Taylor Decker or he retires. Next subsection, cut Graham Glasgow to save $7 million. See ya. And subsection E, re-sign Alex Anzalone to a 2-year deal that's only really a 1-year contract. That's, I think, where we ultimately end up with the free up the salary cap portion of the offseason manifesto. I think I want Alex Anzalone back.
Really?
I'm not all that comfortable with Derek Barnes taking over as the will linebacker. Because if we're going to throw out worst contracts that Brad Holmes has given out, like the extensions, he's one of the finalists. It's Decker, it's Barnes, Kirby Joseph probably has to be on there. And, I mean, the Aleem one doesn't look good right now. I'll just say that. I have confidence he'll bounce back, but first year of the Aleem contract did not look all that great. Next year's when it really kicks in. So, chance to be disastrous. I'll hold off on that for now, though.
I think the one, absolute guarantee there that is just for sure going to happen is Graham Glasgow getting cut to save $7 million, right? That's just going to happen.
The only way that wouldn't happen is if he retired.
And I guess they just don't have a center currently if they do cut him. But obviously...
Wait, did you miss Section 1?
No, I'm just saying...
Subsection A of sign Connor McGovern?
I did. I didn't miss that. I'm just saying that right now, currently, they don't have another center to replace him. So that'd be the only reason why if they didn't get one, maybe you keep him. But I think he's for sure getting cut.
Are you with me on the re-sign Alex Anzalone? I didn't think he'd be back. I didn't think the Lions could afford it. But if they can, do the Taylor Decker stuff and the Graham Glasgow stuff and restructure the Goff and St. Brown contracts, you're talking about $50, $60 million that are potentially freed up. I don't think that's totally crazy. That would make me think you can re-sign the guy because, again, that's one of those players that you don't necessarily realize how impactful he is until there's a below-average player at that position, and all of a sudden there's a gap in the middle of your defense.
I think that you can't prioritize it over paying a center.
I'm with you.
I think if it does come down, if you aren't able to restructure all these deals like you have in your manifesto here, if there just isn't the cap available to do both, you have to prioritize signing a center over anything, and that would include bringing back Anzalone. If it's possible to do both, then sure, why not? I mean, there's no hurt in that. We don't got to pull the Scott Harris and that he's blocking someone's development,
Jack Campbell being amazing did more than we could have possibly imagined for the Lions, because not only was he just awesome, point blank period, it somewhat devalued Alex Anzalone too, unintentionally. Because, Jack was the best linebacker in football next year. It shadows Anzalone a little bit, and I think knocked his market value down a little.
And I know we're still early, but, I still do just imagine that, Aaron Glenn has got to be fiending to have Alex Anzalone as a New York Jet.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
That defense needs some sort of leadership. They have the relationship. I just see that as, the perfect fit, and he's probably willing. They have the money to pay him a little bit extra. But who knows?
Is there any chance Woody Marks is like, no, we don't bring anyone in with
Johnson,
long hair? Or Woody Johnson. He's just like some ridiculous, absurd reason.
I do not doubt that. That guy's a psycho, so he could definitely have some rule like that. And also, maybe Alex Anzalone doesn't want to go play for the terrible New York Jets, too. Like, that absolutely could be in play.
Sure. If it's the same amount of money, I'd imagine he's back with the Lions. If they're going to give him more, I'm never going to sit here and say, well, he'll just take less, hometown discount. It's not a thing in the NFL. Nobody does that. Section 3. This is not controversial, but maybe one of the more unique ones that I'm not sure you're going to hear from other Lions pundits this offseason. Add a safety both on the field and to the roster. I'm done with base defense. The Lions run more of it than anybody in the NFL. The 3 linebackers, that Sam linebacker role that Derek Barnes has embraced with the 4 offensive linemen, I'm over it. It's 2026. Let's modernize the defense a little bit. Essentially turn your base package into a nickel package and utilize what is one of the most unique players in the NFL in Brian Branch. Have him be the big nickel that essentially serves as your third box linebacker because he's got the skill set to drop back into coverage. Jack Campbell's an elite run stopper. Elite. He's not necessarily the greatest in coverage. Just put Brian Branch in the box. Let him be as close to the line of scrimmage as possible and have him just wreak havoc in the run game while being able to drop back against the pass as well. Use him in the blitzing sets as well. I'm down to just kind of switch up the defensive philosophies a little bit and have 3 safeties on the field at all times, with Brian Branch essentially serving as that big nickel. It's 2026. Let's move on from the base package.
What happens to Derek Barnes?
A reserve linebacker.
It would take him off the field.
It would take him off the field. I'm okay with that.
He's being paid a lot to be a reserve.
Yeah. Yes, he is, which maybe makes him another cut candidate.
I don't think he's quite on the cut radar, right? I think somebody would trade for him over anything.
Maybe. I mean, would you rather have Brian Branch on the field?
Well, yeah. I mean, Brian Branch is going to be on the field.
Sure. So, I don't know, man. I think I'm just done with getting torched over the top and torched through the air to where everyone laughs at the Lions defense because of the massive amount of, 20-plus yard plays that they allow over their heads. This also gives you some insurance if you add a safety just in case whatever happens with Kirby Joseph's knee doesn't end up working out. I think there's just
guy.
You also don't have a single person underneath those guys on the depth chart. I think there's just a lot of reasons to potentially add a safety, not only to the roster, but just to your defensive philosophy as well. Because you're still going to be adequate against the run if you have Brian Branch serving in the box at all times. To have Jack Campbell and Brian Branch against the run in the box, I'm not that worried about the run game, even if you take an extra linebacker off the field.
So you think Kelvin Shepherd is just going to switch up his whole defense after a full year of being the DC?
I think I'd be impressed if he did. Like, don't tie yourself to Aaron Glenn and his philosophies. Be able to, develop some of your own stuff. And I truly feel as if Brian Branch is best utilized when he's just always in the box. Because look at what the Ravens just did this year with Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, their defense was great.
And they played 3 safeties the entire year.
No,
Seattle does something similar with that rookie Amon-Ra.
Yeah, and he's awesome. I don't disagree with you. I just it's hard for me to envision, the former linebacker taking a linebacker out of his defense.
That's a good point.
That's just how I feel. I don't disagree with you. It's just the likelihood I feel like is low.
I think it's just time to look ourselves in the mirror, Kelvin Shepherd to look in the mirror and say, you know what? It's 2026. This is not working anymore. And we can still be adequate against the run by taking this person off the field because we have the luxury of Branch.
You're at a safety.
I'm pro add a safety.
But where is that coming from? Is that can we do a late round pick safety and all of a sudden we feel good about him seeing the field? Is this a sign a guy on a vet minimum deal?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Oh.
It'd be nice to have a 3rd round pick. Shout out Isaac Tesla. Kevin Byard's a free agent this offseason. His projected Spotrac value is 2-year, $15 million contract. And you can split that up however you want. $7 million this year, $8 million the next. You can do 10 and 5. whatever ends up working in favor of the cap, that's really not that expensive. And to have, in theory, Joseph, Byard, and Branch all out there at some point, I think that's pretty scary for most other teams.
I don't think the Bears are letting him go, man.
Really?
I don't think so. I think the Bears bring him back for sure.
It's not like he's worth a crazy amount.
Right.
He's a little older. I think he's on the wrong side of 30.
He is. He was really good in his day. Still was good last year, though.
But it's not like he's a Bears lifer.
No, I just think that he was such a key piece of that defense this year, especially with all the injuries they had in their secondary. It'd be tough for them to let him go to an in-division rival.
I'm also pro adding a safety for the just the off chance that Kirby Joseph doesn't come back ever. Not to put that out in the air, but I need to have some sort of backup plan.
So where's all this cash coming from, though? That's what I'm starting to wonder.
I told you. Restructure. Jared did you not hear the free up salary cap portion of the offseason? Free up salary cap by restructuring Goff, restructuring Amon-Ra, cut Taylor Decker, or he retires, do the same thing with Graham Glasgow. That's where all the money's coming from.
Okay. Do we have a actually, I'll let you continue.
Let me finish up. We'll take a break and come back and get some more reactions. The last key part I have right now is retool the tight end room. You're bringing in Drew Petzing. He loves the 12 and 13 personnel. There's a recent trend in the NFL. You saw the Rams do it this year. A lot of 13 personnel. Because if you've got pass-catching tight ends, it's just really hard for a defense to match up against that. Dallas Goedert's available right now for the low price of $6 million on a one-year deal. That's his Spotrac estimation. And everyone, I feel like, thinks really highly of Dallas Goedert. He had less than 500 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. I don't think the Eagles are paying somebody like that. If you add him and Laporta next to each other, cut Brock Wright. Oh, look at that. There's another $3 million you just added. 2 of those guys together. Look what Drew Petzing did for David Njoku, who's also a free agent, just a little bit more expensive. I think it's really helpful to have 2 really valuable tight ends that can go out and catch passes.
Brock Wright's not?
I think you can upgrade Brock Wright. Not that great of a blocker, Kyle. Very poor blocker, Brock Wright is. Laporta, great blocker. Goddard, he's all right. Retool the tight end room, specifically for David or Drew Petzing. We want to set him up to succeed, right? He likes his tight ends. Notice I didn't say anything about moving on from Montgomery.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
And I didn't say anything about the edge rusher room. I'll tell you why when we come back. This is the 10 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by our friends at Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphone to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future, but it's not just about the technology. It's also about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time. This is the Lions off-season manifesto. I'm looking for feedback, right? You guys, I think you guys know things, unlike Amon-Ra St. Brown, who thinks you know nothing.
Well, most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Thank you. I want to get some feedback on this. Kyle, you're going to be first up. We've got the MIT messages available to 989-837-6125. What else do we need to see added to the offseason manifesto for the Detroit Lions? It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on the MIT.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
Market's down. Estate planning struggling. The economy's in a whirlwind.
What's the play, Coach?
Call Doug Cellini.
Hi, I'm Doug Cellini, financial advisor with Kingsview Partners in Midland. When the market's blitzing and your finances are on defense, I'll help you call the right place, keeping your goals and best interests first.
That's a championship plan right there.
Let's build your game plan today. Call me, Doug Cellini, at 989-214-4444. That's 989-214-4444.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them. On Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
I almost said the playoff manifesto. That would be stealing somebody else's bid. I am talking about the off-season manifesto for this Detroit Lions team. I'll recap it really quick. Fix the offensive line. There's 4 subsections to that. We can dive into that in a second if you'd like. Free up salary cap. 5 subsections to that. Add a safety both on and off, or both on the field and on the roster. I'm excited about that one. And retool the tight end room. I don't like the playoff. The offseason manifesto is not complete. It's a work in progress. But I don't have anything about moving off of David Montgomery. And I don't, for right now, have anything about the edge rusher room, the guy across from Hutch. Admittedly, I don't know what they're going to do. But I do know Al-Qadim Muhammad had 11 sacks. He was signed for $1.5 million. I do know James Houston, who spent half of his rookie season on the practice squad, had 8 sacks in 7 games. I think schematically, there's just an advantage of playing across from Aiden Hutchinson if he's going to have 100 pressures every single season. I know there's a weird portion of fans out there that really don't like the pressure stat, that want him to finish more often. Yeah, we all do. He had 14.5 sacks still. That's still pretty good. Top 5 in the NFL. But sure, we all want him to finish more sacks. 100 pressures is nothing to scoff at, and I think the guy across from Hutch benefits from that maybe more than anybody. I also am banking on Aleem McNeil to take that huge step forward. So, admittedly, I don't really know what they're going to do at the edge position quite yet. That's why it's not in the offseason manifesto quite yet. So, where do you want to jump in? What do you want to dive into first?
Well, I'm interested to hear about the David Montgomery stuff because you didn't really dive into that. You did dive into the rest of it. Like, why keep David Montgomery? I'm not saying like we shouldn't, but I'm just wondering, like, because you clearly are on that side of things, especially with the amount of people that you want to pay. Feels like freeing up money is important. You had that in there, but that Montgomery money is going to be still existing.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I understand the logic of, well, if we're only going to get him 7-8 touches a game, then we can't really, like, he probably just wants to be elsewhere. And if he wants to be somewhere else, okay, then there's probably not a whole lot the Lions can do. But the more I think about it, I think it's a lot more simplistic of a question than we realize. Is David Montgomery going to help us win a Super Bowl, yes or no? And I think the answer is just obviously yes, especially if you fix the offensive line. Like, he's a tough runner. Between the tackles, he is so difficult to bring down if he can get a full head of steam. Him and Gibbs are obviously a lot different. But to redo somewhat of what they had in 24 with the David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sonic Knuckles duo, I think that'd do wonders. And under Drew Petzing, who loves the 12 and 13 personnel and loves the run game specifically, I think this is just someone who can help contribute to a Super Bowl winning team. And if they can really revamp the offensive line, like step one of the offseason manifesto, I don't know why they would move off of him. You said why not move off of him? Why not cut him? Why would you? I guess is now my question.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I just think that, some people think that maybe it's to save the money aspect and that you could just draft a late-round running back. I've seen that take be had. Pizza Man in our YouTube chat says he thinks Brad Holmes will draft a running back. I don't know if that's just out of spite of, them drafting a running back last time or just saying that he thinks they will do that to replace Montgomery. Not sure. And then Nate in our YouTube chat, he thinks that David Montgomery should stick around and that their combination could be a lot better in this run-heavy offense. So
yeah, I'm with Nate. I agree. What's the most interesting part of this? Is it the fact that I'm just completely ignoring the edge room? Is it the fact that I kind of want to redo the entire defense?
I think redoing the entire defense has got to be the most interesting part. I mean, I don't think anyone is doubting, like, oh, they need to fix the offensive line. If that was the one thing they did this offseason, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You could do nothing else this whole offseason. If you just literally focus on fixing the O-line, I'm all in. But obviously, there's more to an NFL offseason than just that. So I think the safety thing is interesting because it's something that, like you said, not many people have thought of. You also have to remember that, like, not good chance, but there's a chance both of those safeties aren't going to be starting the season.
At least week one, yeah.
Brian Branch, like, for sure probably won't be.
Yes. It's going to be so frustrating that who knows when the next Kirby Joseph update we're getting is. Who knows? Like, are we allowed to assume he's starting week one? I have no idea, Kyle.
I think we'd have to assume he is, right?
That's not a safe assumption, I would say.
Sure. But, like,
I also assumed he was coming back all year.
Right.
Because they told us he was.
We'll have to get some sort of update at during this offseason, right?
But when? Is it the owners' meetings? Is it rookie mini camp?
Is he having any sort of procedure done?
That's the kind of stuff that they keep under the rug, though. They keep this stuff close to the chest. I don't know.
So, yeah, addressing the safety is absolutely a play. I feel like it's going to come in the draft, kind of.
It'd be nice to have the third round pick.
The third would be so nice.
And that's another thing I wanted to bring up with the manifesto, too. I think, like, yesterday I said Isaac Tisla was a loser with the Drew Petzing hire. Because he's going to run 12 and 13 personnel.
He's not a loser?
Well, he's not a loser, but he's the loser of that guy's signing Drew Petzing. I just don't think he's going to be on the field as much as he was to close the season because of the personnel that Drew Petzing prefers to run. He was number 1 in the NFL in 13 personnel the last 2 seasons. So extra tight ends get big at the line of scrimmage. That's going to hurt your wide receiver 3. It's also probably going to hurt Khalif Raymond's chances of coming back to the Lions. And if that's the case, I think I'd rather just have that third-round pick and spend it on a safety, to be honest, rather than having to spend one on free agency. Because no matter what, you got to bring somebody in the safety room, assuming Branch isn't going to be there to start the season.
And maybe you can bring back some of those guys that had to fill in spots, but none of those guys were like safeties. Avonte Maddox wasn't a safety.
Yeah, Avonte Maddox was a nice player, but
he got tossed into that spot, and he'd be nice to have for depth again next year. But you need a guy that, like you said, might have to play every snap.
Yes. So I'm down to not only add a safety to the roster, but one to the field as well.
Yeah.
So you're basically playing with 3 safeties, 2 corners, and saying, Brian Branch, you're our box guy. You're our big nickel would be that position. Him and Campbell together. Ideally, Anzalone's still there too, and then you just have your 4 defensive linemen. It's 2026, man. Most teams play nickel more often than they play this base package that most teams run of the 3 linebacker set. And ideally, when the Lions play nickel, it's with an extra corner, Amik Robertson. This would also just let you kind of move on from Amik Robertson if you really want to. That'd free up some money as well. And Brian Branch instead becomes your big nickel. I was just going to say, he played nickel in his rookie season.
Yeah.
This would be somewhat of a different role because I think he'd be more used as a linebacker than a guy that's lined up on the outside in the slot. So, but anyway, go ahead.
This just makes more sense to me if Anzalone doesn't get brought back, because you're still like, if in your situation, you have to talk yourself out of taking Derek Barnes, a guy who is paid off the field. That's tough to do. If Anzalone doesn't come back, then I could see it because you're moving Barnes into that spot. So I'd like it if that's the situation. I just don't know how realistic it is if Anzalone is brought back. That's the only thing.
989-837-6125. Got a text that says, cutting 2 vets may free up money, but it sets our offensive line back at least 2 seasons because we'd have to draft. We know they aren't signing anybody to replace them. I disagree. I think this is actually an opportunity for your line to take a step forward because these first-round tackles, I just feel like they're rarely misses. These guys that we know are for sure first-round tackle grades, they usually show up and can make impacts from year one, whether it's Will Campbell this season protecting Drake May, Penei Sewell as a rookie, which I guess is a little different because he truly was like one of those generational guys. I think there's 3 truly first-round graded tackles this season, and if you get that actually might be an upgrade over Taylor Decker. I think if you cut Glasgow, you can go sign a much better center.
And they will, right? I mean, they have to.
They have
to improve the center. Like, I would just be shocked if they didn't.
And then you can draft a guard if you want to in the second round and let him and Christian Mahogany compete to see who wins. And if your second-round pick gets beat out by Christian Mahogany, okay, bad sign, but also means Christian Mahogany probably took a step forward this offseason. But I'm not attached to the 6th-round rookie, who was a part of a bad offensive line last season. He wasn't a rookie, but I'm not attached to the 6th-round pick. Yeah, I'm not attached to any of those guys. Go find someone in the second round. I mean, your last second-round offensive lineman was Tate Ratledge. He rocks. You can go find an upgraded offensive line in the draft this year. I really do believe that.
Yeah. Chris also, he thinks your manifesto's spot on. He says you actually know ball, unlike the rest of us who don't know much about anything.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Oh, thanks. Oh, anything is so tough.
So you don't fit into most of you guys.
Genius.
According to Chris.
Thank you, Amon-Ra St. Brown, for giving us the drop of the year. One more time, please.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Okay, thanks. 989-837-6125. Take a trip around the league and get back to the manifesto in the 11 o'clock hour. But we'll take a trip around the league when we come back. By the way, you are not going to want to miss this one. This is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime around the league because it really has nothing to do. Well, you know what? I can't even tease it any further. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a 2-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape, and then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Jack Frost is nipping at your nose, but don't let him touch your thermostat. This winter, keep your home warm and worry-free with Answer Heating and Cooling. From furnace tune-ups to emergency repairs, our friendly professional techs make sure your heating system runs smoothly all season long. Customers rave about our courteous service and how we leave everything clean and working perfectly. Call Answer Heating and Cooling or visit AnswerSOS.com today. Answer Heating and Cooling. Don't be left in the cold. Let us keep you warm.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think.
I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference.
I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon. Every Wednesday on The Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday, Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989-837-6125). We will get back to the playoff, the off-season manifesto. I keep saying that. The off-season manifesto in the 11 o'clock hour, and I'm sure throughout the off-season. It will be updated. This is just the early stages of it. Until then, thanks to Air Insurance, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, this is a good one, fellas.
I think this needs a warning before we start.
This is stupid.
This is going to be really dumb. And, you know, for Amon-Ra St. Brown to say people don't know much about anything, this could be, like, validating that. You know, this really could. So let's just throw a warning out.
So I had a buddy send me this football hypothetical yesterday, okay? Ready? The argument is about a hypothetical football game between the New York Giants and a group of 50 regular 24-year-olds. Everyone on the 50-man side played organized sports in high school, but nothing beyond that. The twist is that all 50 guys are allowed to be on the field at the same time, while the Giants have their normal 11 players. The game is played under normal NFL rules. Penalties count with the exception of illegal man downfield.
Illegal
and
formation, probably.
Illegal formation and that sort of stuff. The game is played under normal NFL rules. All penalties count. Game takes place at Lambeau Field on January 8th at 8 p.m.
Oh, so it's in the cold at night.
Freezing cold. We have 100-man roster for subs. Curious to see what you guys could make. So here was my first explanation as to hearing this. I said, let's assume all offensive linemen can block 3 individuals. Okay, so 5 offensive linemen, they all take 3 people. That's 600 pounds. Those individuals' goal is literally just to hold ground. It's not... Everyone's job has to be very simplified if us 50 men have an even slight chance to win. Everyone's job has to be simple. We have to be well coached. We have to have a training camp so we can go over our assignments. Because if we just step on the field and play the New York Giants tomorrow, obviously we lose. But if we have coach, drills, Everyone knows their assignment. I think we've got a chance. So if we send 3 to 4 people at every single offensive lineman and just say, hold your ground. Just make sure this guy isn't taking out other guys. Let's make that assumption. That means you have 5 defensive DBs for every corner or for every wide receiver, running back, and tight end. Every play, no matter what. That's your guy. That leaves 15 people, 3 additional safeties, 10 rushing after the quarterback, 5 linebackers just over the middle of the field patrolling or on the line of scrimmage. I think on defense, we can get stops, especially if we have a 100-man roster, because some people are going to get seriously hurt. The hardest part would be stopping the run, in my opinion, especially if they had a smart offensive coordinator. If they had John Moran, I think we'd win.
Well, their offensive coordinator is whoever the Giants' offensive coordinator is going to be.
Oh, okay, true. Okay, we'll see. On offense, I think we'd have to get really lucky with a guy who can kind of play quarterback. If you don't have an athlete that can play quarterback, we're probably just in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to luck in with one of your 100 guys played high school quarterback. I think we've got a chance. If not, probably not executing any sort of offense. But if you do luck into that, I don't know, you can have 30 offensive linemen every single play, like 2 layers of 15, 19 different skill guys. I think you could cheese your way to like 4 to 5 yards every single play. There's no deep shots being taken. It just won't happen. We don't have the quarterback to do it. We don't have the receivers to beat any DBs. It would get
intercepted.
Yes. But I think we could cheese our way to 4 to 5 yards per carry. I'm taking 50 real guys. This is the new...
You're taking them to win?
I am.
I didn't know you were doing all that.
100 men versus a gorilla.
Yeah,
I think I like the 50 men in this argument.
Chris said they could beat the Giants, but not a gorilla. Look, okay, my first 2 thoughts. One is that the thing that I think matters the most, you and I have discussed this. One, just want to preface, this is really dumb. The mindset of the 50 guys is the most important thing.
100% agree.
If you got 50 guys and they're all like, oh, yeah, we could win. It's a versus 11. We got this. And then the second you're out there on the field and you have the football or you're blocking and Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence are coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, at least half of the guys are going to be like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to even get myself involved here.
Sure.
So that, and if most of the guys are that way, then we're cooked.
Yes.
Like, our team is screwed.
Here's a good question, though. Can you make cuts to the roster and just kind of filter in
I think
guys
it's 100
with the right
random
mindset?
guys, right?
Okay.
That's the way that I interpreted it.
But they all played organized sports in high school.
all played organized sports or in their mid-20s.
And let's assume they played, like, football, basketball, lacrosse, like, bowling. If you bowled in high school, no offense, this doesn't count.
Wow, man, just calling out the bowlers right now.
It just doesn't count.
Okay, the second thing that I think is really important is that I do agree with you that offense, I think, is our bigger strength than defense. I think you should be able to get 4 to 5 yards. You just have the pure mass of human beings.
Yeah.
It'd be tough to get like a 1-yard carry, I feel like. Or
if
you could throw it out in the flats with, 14 different blockers out there or 30. But the issue is fumbles will happen. There will be at least 1 or 2 fumbles. If you're being tackled by an NFL linebacker, they are going to force the football out.
But a good coach would tell you don't even get tackled. Just go down.
Who's your coach?
I think that matters.
Like, if you have Signetti, I think we win. If you have a random high school football coach,
I don't think we win.
I don't think so either.
But if we have an NFL coach that we trust, I think we need a motivator. Like, I think we need a Dan Campbell rather than someone.
Yeah, to get us in the right mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, because if people are playing afraid, we're going to lose. If people are playing like with irrational confidence, like, let's go, we got this, like, I can't wait to go tackle Cam Scatteraboo, then I think we got a real chance. We just have to have extremely disciplined execution. You know your role. You know what you're designated to do on every single given play. No one's trying to play hero ball. Because obviously, like, none of us could tackle Cam Scatteraboo in space. It's going to take a tremendous amount of discipline. Because even if 4 guys get to him, that's 800 pounds. He's not just dragging that through the air or through the ground.
I think that, and Nick asked us a question. He said, are all the guys 300 pounds with beer bellies or gym rats with at least a little athleticism? It's probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in the middle, I would say.
And you got to have your defensive line, like, you got to have your front 15.
I think if you got any sort of time to practice, like, even a day is so valuable. Because if you just showed up, like, hey, everyone show up to Lambeau Field at this time, I think that the amount of people would almost be bad.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know how to use everybody. It would almost like screw you over.
It's too unorganized. I think it's only fair for there to be like 1 month of training camp for both teams.
Month? See, then that just seems like too big of an advantage. You already have the 50-dude advantage. I think you get like a day or two to practice.
No. You need a training camp just the way that they have. It has to be fair, and that the advantage is the 50 people. If you have, then you both have to have the same amount of time at training camp.
I just don't think we get a single stop.
Really?
I don't think so. I think that I understand that we have so many guys, but I don't know. Those linemen can block 3 to 4 guys on their own.
Okay, so 5 offensive linemen. Let's say they can all block 4 guys. That leaves 30 extra people. You can have 10 of those people just get after Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're going to need I think there should just be 3 guys at the goal line.
How many dudes get hurt?
A lot. A lot.
A lot of guys get really hurt. Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. But if you can have 4 guys, their left tackle is
Andrew Thomas.
Yeah. You tell 4 people on your defensive line, we just need you to pop Andrew Thomas. Your goal is not even to get after the quarterback and beat them one-on-one. We have other people to do that. Just contain, literally just pin Andrew Thomas into one spot. And if he rolls you, pushes you guys over, so be it. Now we've got a free lane to go rush the quarterback. I just think it's too many people.
I just want to vision this. I want to see what this would look like. Chris says tackle would be like when 20 hyenas are taking down a water buffalo. Yeah, and Cam Scatabo is the water buffalo. That's good. I think I disagree with you in the fact that I don't think we could win. I think we could keep it kind of tight and score, but I don't think we could win. I think they would win.
I think we're 4 yards almost every single play.
Yeah, I think so too. But also, we're going to turn it over. They're not.
Yeah. I don't know. Dart could throw an interception. Seriously, we're going to have 20 DBs.
No, Dart's going to see 20 guys in the middle of the field and be like, I can run all these guys over, actually.
See, that's right. I think you're wrong. Because
that's his mindset, though. I'm just saying that's what Jackson Dart is.
It's true.
He's going to take it as a challenge.
I also think if we have 4 guys for every offensive lineman, that just creates a pile of mass of thousands and thousands of pounds at the line of scrimmage. So he can't really just run over that. And then you're going to have an extra 15 to 20 guys simply just rushing him. That is their entire job. He doesn't really have anywhere to run.
You could legit just run the Maryland eye, but instead of 3 guys behind the quarterback, it's 40 guys.
I think in my ideal world, we have 2 layers of 15 or 3 layers of 10 for the offensive line. 10 wide, 3 deep.
2 layers of 15 is crazy.
And then you have your
10 wide seems unnecessary. Seems like almost too far out.
So maybe 7?
Yeah.
And then you can just run a tush push. You have the weight advantage.
Yeah, but you know how many guys are going to get hurt doing the tush
push? A lot of guys. But I think we'd get 5. Yeah, that's why we need Dan Campbell as their coach.
But we also have to take in consideration, though, we don't know anything about football.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Oh, my God.
Not just football.
I didn't even think about that.
Anything. Yeah, so that's how it's going to screw us, yeah.
That's why we need a good coach. That's why we need Dan Campbell as our coach to motivate us. I think I would take the 50 people. You would take the New York Giants.
Nate says laterals is how we would win.
I think you're begging for a scoop and score.
You are just gonna fumble though, yeah. Let's move off of this.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed that. 989-837-6125. Shout out my friend JT for bringing that one to the group chat last night. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mid. Around the League, as always, is presented by Air Insurance Group with Farm Bureau. At Air Insurance Group, they understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs. Whether it's life, home, auto, fiscal, it's all available with the Air Group with Farm Bureau Insurance. The team's got over 100 years of combined experience. They know exactly how to put you in the best position possible. The experience matters, and that's why the Air Insurance Group with Farm Bureau Insurance is the way to go. Visit serving the Tri-Cities with locations in Bay City and Saginaw.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Hi, this is Kurt Yeiter from Yeiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency. They're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. New Year's resolutions, let's stick to them. Want to be more organized? Sterlite brand 15-quart storage totes are $6.99, and select shelving units $79.99 each. Maybe your resolution was to finish that paint job you've been pushing aside. Ace brand paintbrush and trim rollers are 50% off. And make the snow removal process easier. You save $200 instantly on Ego Power Plus snow thrower kits.
Need a unique, versatile space for your next event? From the moment you arrive at Dow Diamond, it's easy to see how it's more than just a baseball stadium. With private areas for groups as small as 30 to large-scale events for 300 plus, even full-service catering, Dow Diamond has you covered. From trade shows, corporate meetings and seminars to holiday parties, high school proms, and weddings, book Dow Diamond for your next event. Just call 989-837-2255 or visit dowdiamondevents.com.
He got him! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
A big noon tip-off for the Spartans on Saturday. MSU hosts Maryland at the Breslin. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
That has to be the most complex conversation you and I have ever had on this show, right?
I think so. Yeah. But it sparked good debate, you know?
It did. That's really what this show's all about.
It's an interesting topic.
I'm curious to see what other people think.
Well, it's a good thing for guys like us to talk about because, like, it's all hypothetical. It's not real because, you know.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
You know what? I'm actually not mad at Amon-Ra at all for giving us that anymore because now we have that on the board.
Yeah, that's Sounder of the Year.
It's January 22nd, and we have a heavy favorite for Sounder of the Year at next year's Midi Awards.
Pretty awesome.
Electric. 989-837-6125. So we did get some, I don't want to call it unfortunate news. It's not like somebody died or anything, but Brian Flores, probably back with Minnesota last year, unless he gets a head coaching job. I'm still crossing my fingers and hoping that the Steelers basically do exactly what they did with Mike Tomlin, take the Vikings DC and make him their head coach, and he's just there for 18 seasons. I would love for Brian Flores to head out of the NFC North. If they don't go that route, though, it does seem like he signed his extension yesterday with Minnesota. If he doesn't get a head coaching offer, guess what? He's coming back.
And he still might not even accept a head coaching offer, too. Like, he would still have to do that. The Vikings are doing everything they can to keep him. They even, posted when this extension got signed just about, he's back, So, they're really doing this ploy to keep him. I think he stays.
I'd be shocked if he got offered a head coaching job and then stayed with Minnesota. But I think it's really just the Steelers' job and nothing.
And I think the Vikings probably have to know, too. If they're giving him this extension, they probably know he's coming back, right? I don't really know.
I think it's just depending on if the Steelers offer him the job or not, which I think he'd be perfect there. But I also just, from a Lions standpoint, want him the hell out of the division because we had his kryptonite. We really did. Ben Johnson, 4-0 versus Brian Flores, 30.5 points per game. Smaller sample size, but Lions sans Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores, 0-2, 17 points per game. Obviously, there's a lot of other factors that played into not being able to beat Minnesota this year.
Like what?
The offensive line stunk.
So?
Brian Flores torched the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions'
twice.
offense still scored 30-plus points per game for most of the season, But against Brian Flores, they didn't. I just think that without Ben Johnson, Brian Flores is probably my most feared guy in the NFL.
In the entire NFL?
I think so, man. From a Lions perspective.
Oh, my God. I didn't think you were going to go that far.
Who else is? Who do you fear more than that guy? Ben Johnson
Micah?
himself? I don't.
Micah?
Yeah, Micah's pretty good. Yeah, he kind of dominated the Lions this year.
It just has to be someone in the North, right? Yeah.
Brian Flores is in the North.
Yeah, that's not a bad answer, Kyle. You might be onto something there. We have the kryptonite. We don't have it anymore. The Bears, by the way, did go 1-1 versus Flores this season. When they lost to him, it was that ridiculous Week 1 Sunday Night Football game where J.J. McCarthy just pulled a rabbit out of his butt. But the defense played good against the Bears for the most part that night. I don't know. I don't like that he's back, to be honest, if
Still
he does end
leave.
up coming back.
Worth noting, still could leave, but I think this probably makes it much less likely.
Yeah, Vikings 5th and 7th in defensive scoring the last 2 seasons. I give the Van Ginkel success. Most of that just goes towards Brian Flores. In the last 2 seasons, 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, 18.5 sacks. There's no way there's too many players in NFL history, if any, to have that sort of those numbers over 2-year stretch.
So wild.
18.5 sacks, 2 pick sixes, and 3 total interceptions. That's Brian Flores for you, living through Andrew Van Ginkel. I hope he's gone. I hope the Steelers offer him a job. I do not like when the Lions play this guy without Ben Johnson.
Seems like it's him and McCarthy right now, right? It's the two. There's probably other guys involved, but those have been the 2 headliners for that Steelers job. And obviously we have to keep in mind whoever they hired, that's their next coach that's their coach for the next 20 years. So
right. They're not just moving on.
Yeah, they have to nail this.
I kind of think Flores might be that guy, and he does have the 2 active, or the 1 active lawsuit going on against the NFL because he thought the Giants and Broncos both hit him with racial discrimination because what was the story? He was interviewing for the Giants job, but before he had even interviewed, Bill Belichick texted him and said, "Congratulations on getting the job, Brian." That text was supposed to go to Brian Dable, but it went to Brian Flores.
Is that actually what happened?
I think so.
Oh, that's terrible.
And he was like, "What are you talking about? I haven't even interviewed for it." And Bill Belichick was like, "Ignore that text." So he sued the NFL because he thought he was just being brought in for roofing rules, which is kind of a valid lawsuit.
There was some stuff going on in Miami, too, when he was let go in Miami about that as well. So.
Well, I think that was when Miami was just actively tanking, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. He was involved with that. Yeah, they admittedly were tanking. Yeah.
Attempting to lose games. Oh, that's good. 989-837-6125. Playoff Manifesto in the 11 o'clock hour. When we come back, Al Carson's going to join us as well. Stay with us.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. They know the roads, they know the weather, and they know the community. That's because Forward Energy is fueled by local people who serve the same areas that they live in. Through every sports season and every weather season, they're proud to be on the home team. From automatic deliveries to flexible payment options, Forward Energy makes it easy to stay comfortable all year long. Forward Energy, your hometown propane and fuel supplier since 1925.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The high school game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
Tonight, the Midland Chemics and Dow Chargers will face off at the Midland Civic Arena. It's the first of two matchups this season, with each team trying to crack the top three in the Saginaw Valley. Coverage starts tonight at 7:20.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We did get some feedback on the playoff. Why do I keep saying that, man? The off-season manifesto. Embarrassing. The off-season manifesto is put together by 4 simple outlines, all of which have subsections. Those 4 are fix the offensive line, free up salary cap, add a safety both on the field and to the roster, and retool the tight end room. I am content with keeping David Montgomery. If he doesn't like his workload, deal with it. I'm also content with just kind of letting Brad Holmes find an edge rusher that fits across from Aiden Hutchinson in free agency, even if it's just not really costly, because I think there's just a benefit schematically, again, for playing across from Hutch. You're going to clean up a lot of sacks. We saw it from Al-Quadin Muhammad. He had never amounted to anything. Shows up in Detroit, 3 sacks. Last year, 11.5 sacks. This season, James Houston benefited from it for a while, too. There's a reason they're probably going to move on from both those guys. Fix the offensive line is obviously the most important thing for me. I think you basically do that by bringing in 3 new people, a complete overhaul. If you really want to win a Super Bowl, I think the quickest avenue to that is to get your offensive line back up to being dominant. And I'm not even telling you it has to be as good as it was back in 24, because it probably never will be. You're not going to luck into having another Hall of Fame center in Frank Ragnow. But you can go bring in Connor McGovern from Buffalo or some other awesome free agent signing where you know they're an above-average center in this league. I'm not talking about a Graham Glasgow you can get on the cheap. You got to go spend money if you want to guarantee awesome guy. And you free up that money by cutting Taylor Decker or he retires, doing the same thing with Glasgow. And I would say draft an offensive lineman each of the first 2 rounds. 3 new guys, complete overhaul. That's the quickest way to rebuild this offensive line in one offseason to me. And that is the most important thing the Lions need to do this offseason in order to get back to being on the path to win the Super Bowl. That's number 1. Free up salary cap. You got to do that to be able to do all the things I'm talking about. So restructure Jared Goff's contract, restructure Amon-Ra's contract. Maybe you can do the same thing to Sewell. Cut Decker or he retires. Same thing with Glasgow. A little overlap there. That also allows you to potentially re-sign Alex Anzalone, who, again, I've stated, is one of those guys that it feels like we could survive without him because of how much Campbell has progressed. You still have Aiden Hutchinson on the field again after the quarterback. You theoretically have Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph as your safeties too. You get stars at all 3 levels of the defense. But I think Anzalone would be one of those guys that as soon as he was off the team and there was a guy who was maybe below average at that position, you're going to feel it. It's going to be a big hole in the defense. So that would be the second portion, freeing up salary cap. Third would be add a safety both on and off the field. I think the Lions have a very old-fashioned style of defense. I don't think that I know that. They play a lot of base. They have 3 linebackers on the field more than any other team in the NFL. Let's modernize it a little bit. Instead of 3 linebackers, let's do 2 linebackers and 3 safeties. You're seeing teams across the league do it. Seattle does it. They're obviously the best defense in the NFL. You saw Baltimore do it when they had Kyle Hamilton, who's probably the closest thing there is to Brian Branch in the NFL. Just let him be the big nickel. His rookie season, he played the traditional nickel role in the slot. Just bring him in the box and let him be the 3rd linebacker, essentially. I want that guy as close to the line of scrimmage as possible with how good he is against the run, and then he can go lay hit sticks over the middle of the field, too, against the pass. I'm all in on Brian Branch being a big nickel and then having 2 traditional safeties back there with Kirby Joseph and fill-in-the-blank free agent, because it's not going to be in the draft, because guess what? You don't have your 3rd-round pick because you have Isaac Tesla. Still so weird. That would be off-season manifesto bullet point number 3. Number 4 would be retool the offensive, the tight end room, sign Dallas Goedert, cut Brock Wright, upgrade there. Drew Petzing loves his tight ends. He wants to have 2 or 3 of them on the field a lot, more than most teams. So make sure your second tight end's an awesome option. Dallas Goedert, to me, awesome option to be your tight end too. Brock Wright's a good option. Dallas Goedert would be an upgrade. Save $3 million in cutting Brock Wright. Dallas Goedert's going to cost you like $6 million. Are you willing to pay $3 million more for an upgraded offensive tight end too? We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. And again, admittedly, I don't know what they'll do at edge. And I want to keep David Montgomery because I think he helps the Lions win the Super Bowl. If they can get back to their running the ball ways, like this year they really struggled with it. 25th in EPA. Both the running backs were below 50% in success rate. They struggled running the ball against good defenses. If you can fix that by fixing the offensive line, and you brought in this Drew Petzing fella to help with the run game, I think it's just worth keeping David Montgomery on the team because he's going to help you win a Super Bowl if you can get back to running the football downhill. That would be my offseason manifesto. What's the next step here? What am I missing?
I don't really know if you are missing anything, honestly. I mean, you've kind of gone over everything that is a need for this team. I'm just interested to see how they build the offense, obviously, and that you've kind of touched that with the 2 tight end system thing. I don't necessarily know if, like, a Brock Wright upgrade is needed that much. Just because, I mean, obviously, like, he's probably going to see the field more, but you're probably going to need a 3rd tight end as well. So I guess that would play into that, right?
Yeah. Sorry, you're right. It does smell like markers in here. I don't know why that is. I got a whiff of that. Anyway. Right. Yeah, I think they are, like, and it just makes me think the Isaac Tesla role is almost diminished, which makes me feel even weirder about that pick. Well, I don't know how to feel about it anymore.
When they made the pick, they weren't expecting to have a different offensive coordinator a year later, you know?
No, that's correct. But even when they made the pick at the time, it's like, really, for a wide receiver 3 and realistically a 5th option behind Gibbs and Laporta as well? Like, I don't know. That one never made sense to me, but then he kind of balled out in a way where he had 6 touchdowns.
Was it worth it to not have the 3rd-round pick right now if it means he's not going to see the field a ton?
I think the answer is no. I'd rather just have the 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, because then you could just draft Kirby Joseph like you did a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, like if we had our 3rd-round pick, I would say safety.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Because if we're going to, like,
that's
first
I was
of
hoping
all,
Kelvin Shepard would get hired, man. We get a 3rd-round pick back. Just kidding.
First of all, you do need some sort of insurance for Kirby Joseph with what's going on with his knee. Second of all, you need a second guy because Brian Branch might not be healthy in the beginning of the season. So why not just kind of incorporate it into your defense that you're going to roll 3 safeties out there for the majority of the time? You're seeing teams across the league, their base package has become their nickel package. They run nickel more often than not because it's a passing attack league right now. Have Brian Branch be that big nickel because not every team has the luxury of having a player like that on the field. I'd say there's 3 teams. There's Kyle Hamilton with the Ravens. There's Nick Amon-Ra with the rookie for Seattle, and Brian Branch. It's almost like this new role, this new position. The big nickel. It's not a new position, but those guys are kind of revolutionizing it in a way. Lean into that. Change his position for the 3rd time.
Why not? Yeah, I'm with you. We had Nick in the YouTube chat says, what about the Cardinals center? He's looking like a cut candidate and knows the system already. So I checked it. It's Yelda Froholt. He's been the starting center for the Cardinals last 3 years. Kind of got moved around a little bit on the offensive line this season. Played with Cleveland for a couple years before the Cardinals, but just as an option.
Wouldn't be the first time we picked up a Cardinals interior line of scrimmage player and they ended up helping us. Roy Lopez, thank you very much.
I was like, where's he going with this? No, yeah, that makes sense. But obviously, just kind of tossing that out because of Drew Petzing.
I'm even a little higher than a cut candidate. I'm looking at Connor McGovern. Yeah. That's kind of my dream scenario. And I think a lot of people are going to be like,
cap value?
2 years, $15 million, I think it was written down as. No, maybe it's a little bit more than that. But Linderbaum is like the big guy in free agency this year. I think it'd be a little ridiculous to ask the Lions to sign him.
I mean, I think it'd be a little ridiculous for the Ravens not to re-sign him.
I agree.
So that it starts there.
But they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. That's the weird part about it.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely a little bit weird.
Connor McGovern's market value, which is, I think, the more realistic ask, is a 3-year, $48 million deal, $16 million
pricey,
average.
Man. It's pricey.
It is pricey.
That's the Taylor Decker number if you're cutting him.
Yeah, it's less than Taylor Decker was making. But yeah, it's you're right. That's the perfect guy. If you're going to cut Taylor Decker, bring him in. 989-837-6125. We're going to talk to Al Karsten, prideofdetroit.com, coming up next because we want to hear a little bit more about Drew Petzing. I think he's got a good insight as to this because he's deep into the coaching trees, into the coaching forest, I guess I should say. So he's going to give us some insight on that when we come back. This is, in fact, the Ben Bosscher Show, and the 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by our friends at Yiter Insurance. Life happens so fast. And at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people that you can actually talk to. Yiter Insurance Group will be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Hi, this is Kurt Yiter from Yiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency, they're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
Need a unique, versatile space for your next event? From the moment you arrive at Dow Diamond, it's easy to see how it's more than just a baseball stadium. With private areas for groups as small as 30 to large-scale events for 300 plus, even full-service catering, Dow Diamond has you covered. From trade shows, corporate meetings and seminars to holiday parties, high school proms, and weddings, book Dow Diamond for your next event. Just call 989-837-2255 or visit DowDiamondEvents.com.
We got a game, boys!
This week on Sunday Night Football.
Conference Championship Sunday is on the mitts. The AFC features the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. The NFC's got the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. Our coverage starts at 2 on Sunday, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mid. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mid is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mid.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday, Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mid is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mid. Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Al Karsten joining us here from prideofdetroit.com. You guys can go read up on their website, stay up to date on all the latest Lions news. Al, I am like most other Lions fans. I'm not going to pretend like I knew who Drew Petzing was before earlier this week when the Lions hired him. And I think it's okay for Lions fans to feel the way that they did feel right after that hiring, considering who the Lions actually were connected to, who we knew came in for interviews. It didn't help that the Lions kept this one pretty close to the chest. This wasn't a known candidate to be this offensive coordinator. So I don't blame Lions fans for feeling a little bit underwhelmed. But when you actually kind of dive into it a little bit, you can totally see why the Lions wanted to hire him as the offensive coordinator. The idea is he's going to come in and fix the run game, I'd imagine. You're a little bit deeper into the forest with the coaching tree stuff. You knew who this was. So what was your reaction when the Lions did hire Drew Petzing? I'd imagine you were still a little bit surprised considering he was not a known candidate.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell people how to feel, but there was a little too much belly aching for my liking from the fan base. I think there was a little bit too much overreaction and not enough realism and just taking things with nuance. But yes, there was the aspect where the Band-Aid was pulled off and they didn't know who this was, and they had their mind set on Mike McDaniel. And I think if the report had come out that the Lions had interviewed with him on Friday, and people had Saturday, Sunday to let it marinate, maybe they would have had a completely different reaction. But yes, I had even hinted to friends back in December, if the Cardinals cleaned house, I would love Drew Petzing to somehow be involved in our offense. And I said he was too overly qualified to be tight ends coach. I knew he had a background as a tight end coach, but I wanted him to come in. I mean, he's done some cool things without superior talent for the Arizona Cardinals. So my initial reaction was a little bit of surprise. I'll admit that, but it was understanding. It was intrigue. I'm very excited about the possibility of what he'll bring to the table to help reinvigorate the offense, retool the Lions offense and get back to some of the basics and being a more sound and physical football team. I'll tell you that.
You and I talked about Isaac Tisla last time you came on a couple weeks ago, and I told you that I just didn't really understand how to feel about it. And I guess I'm even more confused about it now because Drew Petzing comes in, he likes to run the 12 and 13 personnel. It goes without saying that the wide receiver 3 is going to be the quote-unquote loser of a guy like that coming in. So now I'm like, okay, I'm even more confused as to how to feel about the Isaac Tisla situation because, I mean, maybe someone else comes to mind. I feel like he just, from a schematic standpoint, is the loser with the Drew Petzing hire.
His skill set, actually, I think, is pretty well equipped for some of the same principles they have for 13 personnel.
Okay, tell me why.
Let's be honest. The 13 personnel, we're still going to run, the Lions are still going to run 11 personnel, 60% of the time. So regardless, at least 60% of the time, it's going to be Tesla and Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams. And those JMO and Amon-Ra were already only playing 90%. So that's another boost. I'm not too concerned about Tesla. I saw there was a lot of strong reaction and assumption there. But I think one of the skill sets with Tesla and his size is, gosh, he is going to be really valuable where you can maybe run 11 personnel, but run some of those 13 personnel principles with the things he's able to do, going back to last Senior Bowl, is digging out the safety, maybe the outside linebacker or the, slot defender, being able to motion in and in those little cheat motions they do and be able to just get the right angle to reset, the line of scrimmage with the alleyway there on the edge. Instead of running, 3 tight ends, maybe they're running 12 and running similar concepts, but utilizing Tesla similar to how they would a third tight end, especially some of those insert blocks that they do through the B gap with Amon-Ra and Tesla. I think they're going to be able to get creative, and I'm not overly concerned about Tesla, but I understand everyone hears the 13 personnel innovation that Petsing started to do when they didn't have as much talent, especially before Kyler Murray came back in 2013. And they immediately go back to, well, we used X amount of draft picks on Isaac Tesla. I'm concerned. So I do get that to some degree, but I want to reassure people that I think this is a fantastic hire also for Isaac Tesla and expanding his value to the offense in multiple ways.
Okay, I like that. And I think if I haven't made it clear, I like Drew Petzing. You know, I'm not going to sit here and bang my fist for the rest of the offseason that I like somebody else, even though that remains true. If Isaac Tesla, you know, is partially a winner, who do you think could maybe be a loser with this personnel?
I don't know if there is one. Let's be honest.
Okay, good answer. Good answer.
I'll quickly say, I think it's going to be an improvement for David Montgomery. I think it's going to be an improvement for Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they're going to run a little bit more power, a little man duo, some of those quick hitting things that reset the line vertically, where it lets David Montgomery use his physicality more, and it lets Jahmyr Gibbs actually be able to have those quicker hitting lanes where maybe he has more daylight as opposed to things getting bogged up in the wash. I think they were using too much zone blocking towards the end of last year. They were kind of utilizing it as a crutch to some degree because they weren't play sequencing well, so they were just hoping that was working. Some games they got away from zone blocking when it might have made sense. But I really think both running backs, especially in the screen game, will also benefit, but also some of the outside runs. So I'm excited for that aspect. I really think some of the play action yak yardage situations there will help Jameson Williams as well. And obviously Sam Laporta is an easy winner there.
Yeah.
But I think all of the offensive linemen and all of the angles and play sequencing that will give them better leverage and some of the run blocking principles is also huge. But I think I'm most intrigued and uncertain about how Amon-Ra St. Brown will be factored in, but I am going to be optimistic and assuming he's already, it's a precedent of what he does well as an all-pro player, that a lot of the offensive influence from the coaching staff remains. So they're going to continue to repurpose and just spam him on the things that he crushes defenses on.
So this was one of the things that I saw, after the hire, I like to just jump on the other team's subreddit page and be like, okay,
Yeah.
what do they think about this guy? And whether or not that's a smart thing for me to be doing, who knows?
It's a perspective, right?
Yeah, I think it's totally fair for me to weigh that to make my opinion. And if an entire fan base is like, we don't like this guy, I'm seeing graphics of him behind jail. And one of the things that stood out to me was like, get ready for your star players to get phased out. I was like, what? And you just brought something up with like the fit with Amon-Ra. So is there a level of concern there, or is that just I don't know? Can you dive a little bit deeper into that?
I think Arizona Cardinals fans have been in a very tough place since
Yes.
the 2008 and 2013 or 2015 seasons, and I think they are a little disgruntled with Marvin Harrison Jr. not developing like they had liked,
right?
And seeing all these other young wide receivers from the last two draft classes seemingly ascending past him, and that maybe his skill set is not as equipped and NFL ready as people thought. But I am not worried about star players being phased out. I'm not worried about Amon-Ra is going to get open. He's going to do his thing. I think, he won't be dealing with injuries next year, hopefully. And we will not be talking about any drops or catch rate there. I think Amon-Ra will continue to get fed. And if you notice, the last 8 weeks of the season, the Arizona Cardinals offense with Jacoby Brissett, Michael Wilson was tracking for the last 8 games to have what would be a 17-game season, would have been like 120 catches and over 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns. They were seemingly able to feed him. They let James Conner shine. They used Greg Dortch in fun ways at times the last few years. And Trey McBride obviously shone. I'm not overly concerned about any star players not getting the ball at this time. I have some concerns about the offense and things we'll need to see, but that's not one of them.
I do like that he was known for running the football. We can go over all the rushing stats. I'm sure you know him. I've said them to the audience before too. But then when all the running backs got hurt last season, he was able to abandon that in a way and just pass the ball relentlessly. And they put up numbers. And some of them were
putting up numbers.
Yeah, and some of them were in garbage time when they were already losing, but they were numbers nonetheless. We talked about the 12 and 13 personnel. is Brock Wright and Sam Laporta the lock-in, these are going to be the two guys, or is there a cut possibility? Okay. Is there a cut possibility? Because if they do decide to cut Brock Wright, that's about $3 million you're getting back for 2026, and you could go, I don't know, David Njoku, Dallas Goedert. Those are all guys that are available, and you're seeing this trend around the NFL right now anyway of it's actually a good thing to have two pass-catching tight ends.
Yeah, and I don't know if they'll go as high price as Njoku, even if he has a relationship. He was in the tight end room when Njoku's career was actually started to ascend with Drew Petzing. But I think Brock Wright will have to battle for the tight end 3 spot. I'm not saying he will be a cap casualty like I believe or like Graham Glasgow might be. I think Glasgow is either a cap casualty or a restructure candidate. I think Brock Wright will probably come back, but he is not going to have the tight end 2 role. They are going to upgrade at tight end 2, I believe, and then Brock Wright will have to battle for tight end 3, and possibly there will be a 4th tight end on the active roster given the 13 personnel. I don't know where they will make different cuts as far as getting down to the 53-man roster, but I think moving forward, the Lions will be a 4 tight end team just given the 13 personnel. Sure. So I believe there are some awesome options in free agency. I don't know if it'll be Njoku sorry, who else did you say again? Yeah. I don't think Goddard or I don't even know if Isaiah Likely is. I think that'd be great. I think actually Charlie Kolar from Baltimore would be an awesome option. Possibly Kate Otten from Tampa Bay. Tyler Higbee from the Rams is also. It's got to be someone who also blocks. Yeah. And maybe an Adam Troutman who came from Denver but used to be with New Orleans, and then also bring in a 4th physical blocking tight end like a Chris Manhertz or a John Fitzpatrick or someone in the draft. Look at what Jackson Hawes did for the Buffalo Bills. He was a rookie, day 3 tight end, but he made an impact in the run game. Same thing with Mitchell Evans for the Panthers run game. He was a rookie out of Notre Dame last year. So I think there'll be 1 free agent signing to be a tight end 2, and at least possibly 2 free agent signings, veteran tight ends, and then definitely a rookie who has a strong blocking prowess. They think will hit the ground running there.
I want to tell you a little bit about my off-season manifesto that we've been going over for the last couple of hours. So my number one thing, and I think most Lions fans can agree on this, is that the offensive line just needs a complete revamp. And I'm leaning all the way in on that. I like Sewell, obviously. I like Tate Ratledge. I'm pretty content with replacing the other 3 guys, and then ESPN puts out that piece with bold predictions of, hey, if Taylor Decker doesn't retire, don't be surprised if he's a cut candidate. And I guess I hadn't thought about it until I read that article, but then I realized, oh my God, like $18 million they can save up this season if they cut him after June 1st. You're shaking your head a little bit, but I don't know. Like, I think there's a couple really awesome tackles in this year's first round. I would say the Lions don't bank on drafting this high again. If they can find their left tackle in the first round, I would be down for doubling down in the second round on an interior guy, letting that guy battle with Mahogany. At the end of the day, Mahogany was a 6th-rounder. Like, it's an upgradable spot. And then use the money you signed or you saved with Decker and maybe a couple other guys that you can free up structure or you restructure the Goff contract. There's more money. Go get a Connor McGovern or another veteran center that you can trust. And boom, just like that, you have 3 new offensive linemen. That is my number one thing going into next year is fix the offensive line. This feels like the fastest avenue to do it. Your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I think the idea of getting our identity back starts with the Drew Petzing hire, and then it ends with rebolstering the offensive line. I'm not questioning that at all. It needs new bodies. It needs an infusion there. But what I will say is a few things. I don't think Taylor Decker would get cut. I think it would be either he retires or he remains and they take him for 1 more year and possibly still draft his successor with one of the first 2 picks. I think they will draft best available tackle, keeping in mind that Sewell maybe will move to left tackle. I don't think they will just find the best tackle, not have to be the best left tackle. Right. I don't think they'll restrict themselves there. And that tackle, in the first or second round could compete with Christian Mahogany at the left guard spot, because I don't think they can go back into this season hoping that Mahogany and Ratledge will both make linear progress and not be a risk at left guard and right guard. I think they made that mistake. They were forced into that mistake last season, and I still believe in Mahogany long term, especially 2027. I think he will be a great left guard starter. But I think I could even see them bringing in, because it's not the best center free agent class or draft class, I could see them even bringing in a Joel Bitonio or an Isaac Seumalo, someone, even a Tevin Jenkins, I would take someone who would come in for 1 year and provide like a Kevin Zeitler, if you will. And then Christian Mahogany could be that fourth interior offensive lineman. And then regardless, Graham Glasgow cannot be the center. We appreciate what he did this past season in a pinch, but he cannot be the center for the 2026 Lions. He is too limited of a player, too limited of a mover. So they will have to make upgrades there. I think in free agency, I think they'll grab a veteran and then hopefully on day 3 look for a replacement for him, a future center of the future. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of assets allocated towards rebolstering the offensive line.
Al, I mean this in nothing but a compliment. If our fans, they want to read more of your stuff, if you're a super nerdy football guy, you guys got to go to prideofdetroit.com, read Al's stuff. It's all the nitty-gritty stuff. It's all the no hot takes. This is the analytics. No. This is the dive right into it stuff. So if you are a football nerd, Al, Karsten, prideofdetroit.com. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll talk before the draft, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Ben.
Absolutely. There you go.
Take care.
Like I said, you guys can read him at prideofdetroit.com. All right, we'll hit the news, do our 2 traditions to close out every show when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Live here on 100.9, the MIT, Dow, proudly rooted in Midland and making an impact all around the world. Innovations that create solutions for cleaner water, safer homes, and more sustainable futures. A company built on science but driven by the people with thousands of employees who call this community home. Supporting local schools, events, and nonprofits because being a good neighbor matters. From the lab to the Little League field, Dow is invested in the places we live, work, and play. Dow, solving with science and standing with community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Winning takes preparation, focus, and the right game plan. At Iron Stack Technology, we bring that same approach to IT, helping businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next. From cybersecurity to managed IT support, Iron Stack builds solutions that let you stay focused on your mission, not your technology. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Learn more at ironstacktechnology.com.
When you're craving something fresh, flavorful, and made with care, you're craving Pizza Baker.
At Pizza Baker, every pizza starts with quality ingredients. Handmade sourdough, premium toppings, and sauces crafted in-house. Then it's all baked to perfection in our wood-fired oven, giving every bite that signature Pizza Baker taste. From classic Neapolitans to unique specialty creation, there's something for everyone. Dine in or grab it to go. Your perfect pizza is just a short visit away.
Pizza Baker, trust me, you're going to love this pizza.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
The High School Game of the Week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
Tonight, the Midland Chemics and Dow Chargers will face off at the Midland Civic Arena. It's the first of 2 matchups this season, with each team trying to crack the top 3 in the Saginaw Valley. Coverage starts tonight at 7:20.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. Quick rendition of part 2 of the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
You know, Ben, I did just want to say it was nice to actually talk to somebody that knows something about something. You
know?
Oh,
yeah.
That was good. I mean, you know, 'cause, that was the part that I enjoyed most about that.
Because you and I, according to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
One sec, yep.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
That's so true.
Yeah. No, we're most of those guys. Okay, let's talk about guys who might know stuff about stuff, and that's these guys in the news. Christian McCaffrey is a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year, as well as Aiden Hutchinson. You're probably wondering, why am I bringing up Christian McCaffrey over Aiden Hutchinson? Well, it's because apparently, according to Adam Schefter, so this could be fake news, you never know, Christian McCaffrey is believed to be, so he's already not even sure about this, but he's believed to be the first player in NFL history to be a finalist for MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year, all in the same season.
Wait, what's it take to be a finalist in MVP? You got to finish in the top 20?
Well, they have they have the AP NFL MVP finalists.
And there's only 4?
There's 5.
Oh.
Do you want to know them? Can you guess them? Should be pretty obvious.
Drake May, Matt Stafford,
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yep. Yeah, you actually are for sure going to get one of these wrong.
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Okay.
One more.
Is it a quarterback?
It is a quarterback. I'll give you that.
Caleb Williams?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, that was my next guess. I couldn't decide whether or not it was one between one of those
Yeah,
guys.
they will be announced on February 5th, which will be the awards show for the NFL awards. That's cool.
Can I give you a Schefter piece right here? We can hate on Schefter a little bit.
I don't really want... Okay, yeah, if we're hating on him, then yeah.
Did you see the Baker Mayfield report this morning?
Nope.
Well, Baker Mayfield... Yeah, you did. You read it in the news yesterday. Baker Mayfield, hates... Kevin Stefanski to this day, and now gets to play him twice a year. So Zach Robinson goes from being Atlanta's OC to being the Bucs OC.
Yes.
And here's how Rappaport for NFL Network versus Schefter for ESPN reported it. Rappaport said, while the Bucs did an extensive search for OC, the work Zach Robinson did with Baker in the Rams' 2022 season always stood out. Now together in Tampa. The way that Adam Schefter worded this in his story was, during a week in which Baker Mayfield called out Falcons head coach Kevin Stefanski, the Buccaneers now have hired Atlanta's former offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson.
Sounds about right.
I hate this guy, man.
Perfect. Yeah, it's obviously about the story of Zach Robinson essentially revitalizing Baker Mayfield's career with the Rams. But no, let's talk about the drama aspect of this. Yeah, I don't like Adam Schefter either. Okay, we had a big trade in baseball yesterday. The Mets have traded for Freddie Peralta, star pitcher of the Milwaukee Brewers. I believe he was a Cy Young finalist last year in the National League in a multiplayer trade with the Brewers. And this is 2 of their top prospects, including their top prospect, Jet Williams, is headed to Milwaukee. Milwaukee pretty notably doesn't pay anybody ever. So they traded Corbin Burns a couple years ago before they had to pay him. Now they're trading Freddie Peralta before they have to pay him. This is good news for Tigers fans, though, because the Mets truly do not have a Tarek Skubal offer anymore, unless it is all major leaguers and no big prospects, which they have some younger, really good players, like Nolan McLean is one of their star pitchers. He was a rookie last year. But nonetheless, this to me feels a little bit like they're waving the white flag on potentially trading for Skubal. They went for the next best available starting pitcher, which is Freddie Peralta. So, yeah.
Doesn't that make it all just more likely that the Dodgers are, like, calling, though?
It could be, yeah. I mean, the Mets they lost out on Kyle Tucker when they thought they were getting him, and since then have just gone crazy and traded everything for Luis Robert and now Freddie Peralta. Pretty funny. All to not make the playoffs.
It's just a funny franchise, man. What's the NFL equivalent of that? Like, they go
Mets,
out and, the
most aggressive team, and
it
probably
just
the
never
Cowboys,
works.
maybe?
That could be true. Yeah.
It's just so funny because,
example.
like, everyone is like, oh, the Dodgers this. Oh, they spend so much money, the Dodgers. Man, the Mets spend nearly the same amount, and they just aren't good. Like, that's the funniest part about the Mets. You know, it's not as much as the Dodgers, but it's close, you know?
They might be more tormented than, like, a Marlins fan that just never spends ever. Or, like, a Rockies fan that just gets tossed around by every other team in the division. The Mets, at least, like, you get your hopes up every offseason just to be laying flat on your face.
Yeah. More baseball
Hilarious.
news. Baseball America's top 100 prospects of 2026 has come out. Tigers got 2 of them in the top 6. Kevin McGonigal is the number 2 prospect behind Pittsburgh's Connor Griffin, and Max Clark is number 6. We're getting MLB pipelines pretty soon as well, so we'll see if McGonigal gets the number 1 spot in that one. But yeah.
What do you care about, Morris?
MLB pipeline because it's free to look at.
I like that answer. What about ESPN's?
Literally do not care. Couple more things in the news, and then we'll close this thing out. San Francisco Giants GM John Lynch says that Brandon Ayuk has played his last snap for the San Francisco 49ers. Not a shock. Who's trading for him? Like,
Nobody.
Is his career just over?
It might be. No, his career's not over. How many years are left on that ridiculous contract he has?
I don't know, but they're just
He got a
gonna cut him.
4-year extension, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like the second worst contract in the sport. Of course, Deshaun Watson will never be passed.
No.
He signed a 4-year, $120 million contract in August of 2024, including $76 million guaranteed.
Oh, my God.
The
Yeah,
team has voided the guaranteed money for 2026 due to missed rehab/meetings. So they don't have to pay him all that guaranteed money, though. So.
Still, it's a decent amount. Yeah, somebody will eat that. Somebody will pick them up.
Man, we were talking about how bad the Knicks have been, and they must have heard us talking crap on this show because they ended their losing streak by beating the Nets by 54 points last night. The Nets scored 66. I mean, just a true battle of New York right there.
Yeah.
Just absolutely won by the Knicks.
66 points in today's NBA is truly insane when it feels like all the stats are just completely juiced because they're just... People say they're not playing defense because they see the box scores and see how many points are scored. I see how you can come to that conclusion. There's just more possessions now. Like the math that you're just getting more shots up now than you were before, so it's going to result in more scoring. They play faster.
Yeah.
For you to hold a team to under 70 points in 2026, and
That's hard.
The Knicks don't even have a great defense. That's the crazy thing, too.
How fast everything's being played. Yeah, it's actually terrible.
The math doesn't add up for you to not score that much.
We have a funny Deshaun Watson chat, but I probably should not say it. Okay,
I'm going to go read it, though.
Last thing in the news, and then we'll close this thing out here. We have a little bit of an update on the NBA gambling thing that has happened over the last month or so. Timothy McCormick, a self-proclaimed gambling addict, has received a 2-year prison sentence Wednesday as he became the first defendant to be sentenced for his role in the NBA conspiracy involving Terry Rozier and Jonte Porter.
Say how many years that was again?
2 years.
So if I just admit to being a gambling addict, I get less of a punishment? Is that
I don't know how involved he was. I don't know if he was like the ringleader behind this or anything. But
oh, they're not catching the ringleader.
Yeah, that guy's a part of the Italian mafia.
Yeah, that's kind of their whole bit is not getting caught. It's throwing somebody else under the bus.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see. Shout out my guy Chauncey, though. Hey, we talked about Chauncey Billups earlier in terms of the all-time Pistons,
and we
didn't even bring it up.
We didn't even mention that stuff.
Good for us.
You know why we didn't mention it?
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
That's true. 989-837-6125. 2 traditions to close out every single show when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Roads. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
Dreaming of warmer days? Now's the perfect time to start at Maple Hill Nursery. For a limited time, take 30% off all current in-stock outdoor furniture floor models. Our annual January sale to make room for what's next. And what's next is exciting. We're adding Three Birds Casual and Lloyd Flanders to our already fine selection of outdoor furniture, arriving soon. Now's also the best time to place your outdoor furniture order, so it's ready when spring weather hits. Order early, enjoy sooner, and Maple Hill can even store it for you. Maple Hill Nursery. Get ready for outdoor season today.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
Need a unique, versatile space for your next event? From the moment you arrive at Dow Diamond, it's easy to see how it's more than just a baseball stadium. With private areas for groups as small as 30 to large-scale events for 300 plus, even full-service catering, Dow Diamond has you covered. From trade shows, corporate meetings and seminars to holiday parties, high school proms, and weddings, book Dow Diamond for your next event. Just call 989-837-2255 or visit DowDiamondEvents.com.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday. Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. We've got 2 traditions to close out every show. The first of those traditions is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
I feel like the Big 2-6 has treated lock of the day. All right, Kyle. Another win yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty even.
Sliver.
If that's what all right feels like to you.
Yeah.
It's 7-7 record so far in 2026, back-to-back days with a hit, and it was your biggest hit of the year, plus 142 for Duran, 20 points, which honestly helped out that Cade didn't play. I bet that line probably lowered a little bit because that was before we knew the news on that.
Sure.
But it worked out nonetheless, so you are 0.77 units up on the year, and you're already up on the week by a unit and a half as well.
No biggie. No Tupac either. So let's think about this. There's not football on today. There is basketball. No Michigan or Michigan State in action. So you kind of just have to pick an NBA game. I'm out on college basketball other than Michigan and Michigan State betting.
You also haven't bet on either of them like all year.
That's also true. I am going to.
Wait, can I make you do something quickly?
Sure.
Can you bet on, like, when MSU Michigan play next Friday, your bet has to be in that game?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I think for my lock of the day, I'm going to go to the NBA. Late night matchup, Lakers, Clippers. Looks like all the stars are playing. Luka, LeBron, Kawhi, Harden. Kawhi doesn't, care about the regular season. That's one of the most, even the most casual NBA fan knows that. He hates the Lakers. He really does. He despises the Lakers and LeBron and goes at them a pretty decent amount when they are matched up against each other. If everyone's playing tonight, I feel like he's going to actually try. And when Kawhi's actually tried this year, it's been kind of scary. The Pistons have seen that firsthand when he scored career-high 50-plus points against them. I feel like we get that version of Kawhi tonight. Over-under sitting at 26.5. I will take his over. Taylor fade.
Coming back from injury, too. I'm going to fade. Because I think you were too confident in the beginning. It's just kind of due to not hit now that you're so confident,
That really doesn't have much to do with
it has nothing
the
to do with
X's and O's of the
to do
game.
Well, I don't know anything, so that's why I just...
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Oh.
So what's my point in diving into the ins and outs of that pick? Yeah.
What do you know? Do you know something about anything?
No, clearly not.
Shoot. One more time.
Most of you guys don't know really much about anything.
Thank you. Hey, if you're heading out of town this weekend, Tommy's Express Car Wash. Give your car the glow up it deserves. Fast, friendly, and freakishly good at cleaning. Roll in dirty, roll out sparkling. I promise you it's that easy. High-tech wash tunnels, eco-friendly soaps, and a ride that looks showroom fresh in just a few minutes. Sign up for their unlimited club and wash as often as you want because clean cars just drive a little bit better and a little bit faster. No appointments, no nonsense, just quick, clean, and kind of addictive. Tommy's Express Car Wash called. Your car called because it's begging for this. Locations in Midland, Saginaw, and Flint. All right, our next tradition to close out every show, guessing what Colin Cowherd opens with. Nobody got a point yesterday, right? Because he just started talking about the Steelers.
Yeah, he said, Mike McCarthy to the Steelers. Just bam, out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So it's 43-34 still is the score. It's my turn to go first.
Go ahead, brother, because I have no idea what I'm going to take.
It's just like yesterday where I just kind of was throwing a dart out. I can't remember what I picked yesterday. I don't even remember what it was. I think today is where it's Thursday. It's close enough time to do like an NFL thing. I think we're going to go to, because Sean Payton and the Broncos did a little thing yesterday talking about Jarrett Stidham, confident thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go like the Broncos still have a shot, like not counting out the Broncos this weekend. I think that's where I'm going to go.
That's not bad. That's really not bad.
Shea also scored 40 last night against Giannis. Like that was potentially an NBA thing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'll go with Seattle here. Seattle Seahawks, they're the team to beat. Revolutionary defense. They've recreated somewhat of the Legion of Boom. Mike McDonald is one of the better coaches in the NFL. He's a genius defensively. He's got the guys playing well. Just comes down to whether or not Sam Darnold brings up Clint Kubiak as well. He just basically says a lot of names involved with the Seattle scheme that has happened here. So
Baker stuff here, maybe?
Ooh, that's good.
I thought about it. He loves talking about Baker. But I don't know.
Probably
For an
not.
Offensive coordinator, yeah, it's like not that big of a deal.
But the Stefanski stuff, I think, plays into this as well.
Right.
Maybe that's a good mention here, honorable mention. But yeah, I'll go with that. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, Friday show. We'll do our spread picks, even though there's only 2 games. Yeah, we'll make it work. I'm excited. I know Kyle's excited. John will join us. He'll be excited too. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And if you're going to remember anything from the show, it's that we don't know anything.
The Ben Bosscher